My name is NomadicKitty. Hola, ¿cómo estás usted? Namaste. Año, aneseo, ni hao ma. Guten Tag. Posvodinya. To all my Russian peeps out there, my Russian kinfolk, where you at? That's my kinfolk. Russia is my kinfolk. I have a lot of Russian viewers. But anyway, welcome to my weekly K-pop live stream. And BTS has got me wore out this week. I'm just going to be honest with y'all. BTS got your girl tired. Okay, make sure you like, share, subscribe this video. Hello, Ice Queen. Hello, everybody. I just give it a little bit for everybody to get in here. So my live streams go like this. We're going to give the first 5 minutes where I give, like announcements, church announcements, where I just tell you about what's going on with the channel and anything else. And then after that, we do BTS updates. Then we do Hybe Corporation or Hybe artists updates. Then we do the rest of K-pop, any updates in K-pop, things in K-pop. And then after K-pop, we talk about South Korea and anything that may be going on in South Korea that's pertinent to the industry. Hello, Shelling P. So that's kind of, if y'all see my video, I did a video yesterday. It was Halloween here in America. Happy belated Halloween. And I drove and dropped my son off at a Halloween party. First of all, it's to a house that he's never been to before. Hello, Kim. A girl at school gave my son a flyer and said, I know this sounds like the start of a horror movie because I thought so too. So my son has a friend at school that told him about a Halloween party and she gave him a flyer. He had never been to this house before. He didn't know who these people were that were having the party. And then he told me to drop him off because his friends were going to meet him at this party. I was like, wait, repeat that? Like, okay, so we're going to somebody's house that you don't know, that somebody at school gave you a flyer. I said, why does that sound like the beginning of a horror movie? Like, yeah, heck no. That's what I was thinking. Baby, you got to understand. Okay, let me just give y'all a little bit of background. I live in the country, okay? Like, I live in a nice area. Again, for those who pay for memberships, there are memberships that I have on my channel where you guys get exclusive content. You guys get K-pop gossip. You guys get videos about where I live. And so some of y'all see the neighborhood I live in. I live in a very nice neighborhood, but it's in the middle of nowhere, okay? There are some areas that are much more remote than mine. So this area is a part of my little city, hello, Susanna, that I had never been in. So I had never been to that. I don't get out around here too much. I work from home, and there's no reason for me to really like be venturing around. I don't know anybody that lives here. And I drove up to this house, and we getting out there. I'm sitting there like, okay, I looked at my son. I said, honey, this is like a horror movie. I said, we drive way out. And then we see this big, gorgeous, like mansion. And I was like, and I try not to be that mom. I try not to be the overreactive mother. Like I try to be the cool mom, y'all. Like my kids like that I'm calm. But yes, Marie Miller, I sat there and we drove up. Like they have these gates where they had you had to buzz in. And then the gates let you in. And I'm like, okay. So I was like, so then we pull up there and we see that they have like the garage. They turned like the garage into a haunted house. And then I see that the people, like they must own some kind of construction business or something. Because I see like they have like another part of their property. And so I'm looking at it. I'm taking pictures of this people's property. I'm like, so just in case anything happened, I know who these people are. And I'm like, I'm taking pictures. I'm looking around. And then I see other young people coming in. And then my son sees somebody that he goes to school with. And he's like, oh, well, hey, what's up, man? And I was like, okay. So my son gets out the car. And then as my son walks in, I sit there for a second. And then I sit there for like a minute or two. And my son comes back out. And he's like, Mom, why are you still sitting here? And I was like, no reason. I said, oh, I'm GPS. I'm looking at GPS and I'm trying to figure out which way to get back home. It's construction company. So apparently there's this large, the people own this large, and I've heard of this they own this large construction company. And so, yes, Ice Queen. I was like, so I was looking around and then I kind of just parked there and looked and I saw other people coming up and dropping off their kids. And I was like, okay. And my son's like, Mom, what are you still doing here? And I'm like, I'm looking. I was just leaving. Because I wanted to see, dropping my baby off. I'm like, my son's 15, but Jesus, still though, you don't want to drop your kid off anywhere. way back home, like my phone, if y'all don't know, my phone acts crazy. So sometimes my GPS just sticks. It just doesn't move. And I try to reboot my phone. I tried to reboot my phone. I pulled over on the side of the road. I tried to reboot my phone and put the GPS on, and it started working again. And by the time I turned the corner, it stopped working again. I didn't want to stop and pull over the side of the road. So I was like, okay, let me just go live. And my sister-in-law is like, well, why didn't you use GPS? I was like, girl, I am using GPS. My GPS got stuck. And so I was like, well, let me go live. And my GPS, no matter how I tried to reboot my phone, I was sitting there like trying to reboot my phone and drive at the same time. And I missed my turn, girl. And you see the live stream yesterday. I ended up in the middle of like even further out because my GPS got stuck. And I literally didn't know which way to go. So I was like, let me go live just in case I get stuck out here. I want a witness to be like, yeah, she out there somewhere. So that's why I did a live stream last night on Halloween, because I was literally lost. And then finally my GPS started working again. And I made it back home. Because again, I had another child, that I had a daughter that she was like, Mom, where are you? And I'm like, child lost. So I finally got home, and then my daughter, and then she got situated. And then like a couple of hours, my son told me to drive back out there, and I drove back out there. And this time I didn't get lost, and I picked him up, and everything was fine, and he had a good time. So yes. Yeah. Oh, you got the notification saying I was lost. They like, everybody there was like, girl, go with God. Like, we'll see you if you don't show up on that live stream on Saturday. I was like, y'all stop playing with me. Yeah, that's what I said. I was like, I told my sister-in-law, I said, at least if I have a witness, like a live stream, that y'all would be like, this is where she was at. Here's video proof. I was like, just in case the aliens or the Yeti or the Sasquatch or whatever happens, I am going to be covered because I'm going to get it on video. Somebody pop out them damn woods. I got it all on video. Just in case I get abducted by an alien, I got it on video because crazy things happen out in the woods in the middle of nowhere. Crazy things always happen. So I wanted to make sure that I wasn't, going crazy. Aliens, girl, aliens. Girl, I don't care. I thought the aliens was going to come down. I was like, oh, no. I was like, oh, that's it. I'll at least have video so y'all would know it, and I would at least go down in infamy. Like, she was on a live stream and she disappeared. I was like, right. Somebody pop out the woods. Yeah, somebody going to pop out the woods on me. Just a girl, I want to have documented proof. So that's what happened to me. I made my own Halloween movie. So that's what happened to me last night. That's why I went live for 17 minutes. If y'all watch the video, it's funny because I'm like, I'm lost and I don't know where I'm at. And Jennifer's like, girl, what are you doing? I don't know if Jennifer's here or not. If Jennifer's here, hi, Jennifer. I don't know. She'll usually text message me and be like, yeah, I'm here. But that was what happened last night. There's a lot of things that's going to be going on. Like I said, we're going to talk about BTS. We're going to talk about all the updates, everything. Make sure you watch. I did a Korean legends and urban legends video. Check that out. I have a K-pop Demon Hunter video coming out. I should be done with it by Tuesday. I've worked hard on this K-pop Demon Hunter. It's like what's coming up next. I've looked up all the rumors and I put my own opinions, and I made videos about my own opinions, and so and pictures about my own opinions about what I think should be next for K-pop Demon Hunter. So for those of you who are into that, check the video out. I've posted more videos this week than I think I've ever posted because BTS has just been doing so much. Also have a sweatshirt on. Well, this is a hoodie. This is a hoodie. This is a hoodie, yo. Hey, yo. Hey, yo. Hey, yo. Hey, yo. 8 Mile. But anyway, this is a hoodie that I designed. This is on my shop. Y'all check out my K-pop shop. It said, I didn't choose my bias. My bias chose me. And we're going to talk about my bias. Because I feel a lot of y'all feel like I didn't choose my bias. My bias chose me. I feel like my bias chose me. Do y'all feel like y'all bias chose you? That's how I feel. I heard that saying a long time ago, and I said, you know what? That's all right. But yeah, this is a hoodie that's on that is in my shop. This is my original design. And did I catch Jimin live? Yes, I have a bunch of videos and shorts about Jimin and Taeyoung live. So I caught all the lives, unfortunately. So let's just get into it. I think we've done enough with the church announcements. I think we make sure you like, share, subscribe, all that. So yeah, we're gonna talk about BTS updates. Anyway, I got my notes. Y'all know I got my book because y'all gotta keep things straight. Let me make sure I'm on the right page. Yes, let me mark this off. Every week I go through in my little. Oh, you like my sugar short? Thank you. I created that like at 3 o'clock in the morning because I don't know. I don't ever sleep. I have not eaten today. Let me just say this before I start. I have not eaten today. I ate like 10 Doritos and some iced coffee today. So I'm a little like stir crazy today because I work a lot. My Saturdays involve me taking my daughter to horse riding. I appreciate everybody liked my sugar short. I thought it was pretty cute. I made the whole little flyer and everything. I'm telling you, I'm a creative. It's what I do. It's what I do. I created the flyer and everything. The little missing poster. Did I stream, Jen? I will after I get off this live stream. I'm behind. After that 10 Doritos and coffee. Yep, 10 Doritos and coffee. And right here I have some Kool-Aid. This is Kool-Aid. This is all I've had today. Because my life is so busy. Jennifer says it's no excuse though. I don't really eat a lot. So, but anyway, so we're gonna go in order. So we're gonna talk about RM first. So RM was at APEC. I have an APEC video. I have an acquaintance that was a delegate at APEC for South Korea. He was a delegate. And so he was there with all like the APEC people. He was there. He works for a company. I won't say what company he works for or what he does. But he was a delegate there and he sent some pictures and some video. And I was like, well, can I post this? And he was like, what's that on that Kool-Aid? I love Kool-Aid. And nothing on the Kool-Aid. It's just ice. If there was some alcohol, y'all, I wouldn't make it to a live stream if I was tipsy. Y'all know I wouldn't make it. Just to keep me hydrated. So RM was at APEC. APEC is like this Asian Pacific thing where there's a bunch of dignitaries. Before APEC, there's something called APEC Festa. So they actually have a concert, which I haven't heard many people talk about this, but before APEC hits, the day before, they have a concert. And so there was people that performed there, and then I had somebody else go to the concert, and they took pictures. And they sent me some pictures and I posted them. And again, when I was making an APEC video, I was like half asleep. Like half the time when I do videos, y'all, I am literally like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, half asleep. So I did a little short APEC video. I didn't want it to be too long, where I just took clips and video and stuff that people sent me from Korea, just so y'all can see what really goes on APEC. But they liked the APEC Festa. It was fun. And so RM spoke at APEC. I posted a short about RM's speech. A lot of you guys have heard RM's speech. It wasn't, oh, you never heard of an APEC concert? Yeah, it's an APEC Festa. And so what RM spoke about, I just wanted to talk briefly about what RM was saying. RM's speech was short, sweet, and to the point. He gave a big shout out to Army. He gave much love to his fellow group members and a lot of love to Army. What touched me the most about RM's speech was the fact that he was imploring, he got into the things that I listened to it is him being very sincere. He was saying that, you know, he's not a politician or anything like that. You know, he's just a K-pop singer. So he was very humble. You watch HB on the speech or High Boy on the speech. He was very humble in the speech. I watched High Boy too. He was very humble. I watched the whole speech and I think RM's speech, I watched it 3 times. And just to really understand what he's saying. And like I said, I like that it was short and it wasn't meandering. It was short and sweet to the point. I don't know if he wrote the speech. I'm sure he probably had a hand in it. But whoever wrote the speech, it was fantastic. But he was saying that that about K-pop being bibimbap, like the Korean food. It's really good. And it's a lot of food for me. It's a lot. It comes in a bowl, and it's like a mixture of meat and egg and noodles and vegetable. Like, and it's like just broth. It's a lot of food for me. When they give it to you, the bowl be like as big as my head. Like, it's a lot of food. But it is a hodgepodge, and he was saying K-pop is like that. K-pop is like a conglomerate of many things. And he said, you know, R&B, rap, EDM. I said, thank you, RM, because that's exactly what a lot of us have been saying a long time. K-pop is not a strictly Korean art form. It is not. It is the Korean, RM was saying it was the Korean structure and the Korean system, but the music itself came from other places else. And I appreciate RM. I clapped. I was like, thank you, because he was saying, in other words, that it is Korean, like K-pop music is a mixture with other things that all come together to make something different. But it is for sure a mixture of different things, you know. And he was so humble about it and very lovable about it. And then he was also at the end telling the world leaders that they should invest more into the arts, that the arts are something that, that they should take their time with, invest more. And I thought that was a very good message, that the arts definitely should be invested more in his part. And he also talked a lot about his culture and his cultural experiences. I also love that RM talked about being in America, passing out flyers, and people, not asking about his music, but asking about where he was from. Like, people didn't even know where South Korea was at. People are like, "What's Korea?" Especially back then. You got to think when they were doing the American Hustle Live, and they were in LA passing out flyers, trying to get people to come to their concert. I'm sure a lot of people are like, "South Korea, where's that at?" Like, it's just that people didn't really have a lot of cultural awareness. Now everybody knows where South Korea is at. BTS and other K-pop groups over the years have really exploded and put South Korea on the map. So I don't know. So I thought that was just wonderful. That was just wonderful. So I was like, "Oh, RM, like, what a sweetie poo." He was just saying that, people didn't know anything about Korea, and now everybody knows about Korea. And I was like, "Child, that is so awesome." And then, which is true. Part of I would say that one of the videos I'm going to do is talking about the Korean thing and the Korean culture wave and how this was planned. This was not a mistake. Korean culture as an export is part of Korean soft power. Like, this is definitely it's a government planned thing back in the 90s. But yes, because of BTS, this thing is set it on fire. I told y'all South Korea and Seoul is like the highest tourist destination over Japan now. Like, over Japan. Like Japan is Tokyo is always the number one Seoul's the number one destination. And especially with BTS coming back in next year, it just keeps growing, and that's more money for them. Like, they were saying that in Korea, they have the highest number of foreigners going to school and living in Korea that they have ever had. And again, Korea is not a big country. Korea does not have a big population. Their population and marriage rates, I talk about, and their birth rates are on the decline. They don't have a lot of like exports. They have like the chaebol companies. They have like LG and Samsung and Lot and stuff like that do technology and stuff like that. But for the most part, Korea understands that their economy has been very stagnant. And so they are going to lean heavily into the K beauty industry, the K food industry. They're talking about exporting more foods, K-pop, K dramas, K music, clothes. Hello, Katina. So yes, BTS put Korea on the map in a real big way, a real big way. And RM mentioned that in his APEC speech, that like people didn't even know what Korea was. K-pop artists are bringing in the money. They're bringing in the tourists and they're bringing in the money. A lot of people didn't pay attention, Shelling P, until BTS came out. A lot of people didn't. They couldn't even point to South Korea on the map until BTS. So that's just the truth. That's just not my opinion. This is the truth. If you look and see, if you go back and look at the numbers when BTS became really popular, like 2019, 2020, you can see the tourism and the everything rates started to jump. Like, you really like around 2018, 2019, but then the pandemic hit, but then they jumped back up again. Yeah, they're waiting. The leaders are waiting for BTS to save K-pop and save the Korean economy, because the Korean economy is stagnant. They are not growing. What's happening in Korea is happening everywhere else. Their population, they have a high ratio of older people and not enough birth rates. So when you have a country where there's more old people than young people, your country is going to fail. It is not my opinion. That's just history. History tells you when you have an aging population and they're living longer, and you don't have people, workers to work to take care of that aging population, it ushers in chaos. That's why South Korea, just like all the rest of these damn countries, want foreigners. South Korea is trying to create their own Silicon Valley. They're dropping the visa requirements. They're recording people from India, people from China, people in the tech industry. They're trying to get more foreigners to come there because they understand that their economy is stagnant. It's dying. And so when your economy is stagnant, you again, there's only Koreans can only have babies with so many Koreans. It's just a number. It's a numbers game. And when your population birth rates drop the way Korea's has, there's only so much you can do. Like, if Korea keeps going the way that they're going, I've said it before, there's a study saying by 2070, 2080, there may not be a Korea in like 100 years. There may not be a Korea because the way the population is going now, their population just keeps decreasing, and they understand that politicians and the people understand what is going on around the world. This is a mass problem around the world, and it's happened throughout history, and things just have changed. People migrate, people change. It has happened throughout history. Throughout history, everybody has lived somewhere else. Unless you're on an island, like Japan or Britain, you're on an island. But back in the day, the Turkish people went to Russia, and then they went to Constantinople, and then they went to Italy. Like people just went everywhere. They went where the money was at. They went, crops died, animal disease spread, and people just migrated. Like people just had to go. Like people never stayed in one place for too long. It's only in our modern days where people don't migrate constantly, because in our past, for humans, we've always migrated. We've always just gone back and forth wherever the weather goes, and wherever. Only now in our modern history, where there's borders and stuff like that, people have always moved because they go where the food is at. Okay, the food ain't here, there's disease here. Okay, everybody pull up, let's go. Or there's certain people die off and other people gotta leave. That's just human history. That's how we have stayed alive as a species. And so Korea, Japan, the same thing with Japan. They have an aging population and not a lot of people having babies and getting married. So they're in a crisis too. Japan has one of the worst economies in the world. One of the worst. The top 5 worst economy is in Japan. Korea is in top 20, but they're getting up there because Japan, their economy has been stagnant for 35 years. I can talk economics all day, but RM is trying at APEC. I digress. But RM was basically giving a good speech and telling people to support the arts and telling people about Korea and how his life has gone places that he never thought it went. And I appreciate RM for saying that. Yes, people go where opportunities are at. That's just how it's been throughout human history. We have never ever just stayed in one little place. It's just, if you get DNA testing and you follow the migration patterns of your ancestors, you will see that, like, oh my God, like there's all kinds of strains in DNA in all different kinds of places, because we've always gone. Human beings have to survive, and people go where they're going to survive, and that's just how it's always been. And it's just, human history changes. There's nothing ever been set in stone. There's no civilization. The Egypt of today was not ancient Egypt. Those people were in a different DNA, a different phenotype, a different language. They did not speak Arabic. Those people were just a different people, because people came to Egypt and infused with the Egyptian people, and Egyptian was a lot different then Kemet was a lot different than Egypt of today. It's just a different country. I mean, they have the history, and some of it is still there, but people have moved in and out of Egypt. You have the Lebanese people that have been there. You have the Arabs came and took over Egypt. Like, they're just different people. Like, it's not the same culture. It's not the same religion. It's not the same culture. DNA speaking, it's not even the same people anymore. They have a same strain of DNA, but it's just, they're a mosh posh of everything now. And so people divide, conquer, wars. It's just how I go. And South Korea is experiencing, because they've been pretty much homogenous culture and isolated, that their numbers are dropping, and they're trying to do everything to try to fix the birth rate. They're trying to fix it, but I don't know if they're going to fix it in like 100 years. Like, a lot of these things take time, and I don't know if South Korea really honestly have a lot. If they don't turn this thing around pretty quick, experts were saying that they don't know And then, like with their population dropping, and then the population in North Korea, I could go on about that because the population in North Korea, we don't really know what that is. And if their population drop to South Korea knows that if they get to a dangerous level in their society, that North Korea is going to look at them like wolves looking at lambs. If their population drop enough, North Korea, we don't know what North Korea, how many babies they have. We don't know how really what the population is there. But if the population of North Korea increases and South Korea decreases, they understand that that puts them at danger because technically speaking, they're still at war with North Korea. And they and you know, I think North Korea maybe just be biding their time, just waiting for their population to keep on decreasing. It leaves them very vulnerable. And South Korea, their politicians know that. And they know if their economy tanks, they're very vulnerable. And so, you know, I love South Korea, but they are trying to do things and make changes because they understand the writing on the wall. So they're really literally fighting for their survival and on top of that, their safety. And they need help to protect themselves against the North. Every president understood that, every politician knows, every South Korean knows that. They know that this situation with their population have left them very vulnerable. And so they are quick to try to form allies with China and Japan now because they know they need they're going to need help. They're going to need help if North Korea decide to come over that DMZ zone and get froggy with them. So, you know, Korean culture and export of Korean culture is soft power. And Korea has done it masterfully. And BTS is a huge part of that. It's a huge part of their economy. And everybody's waiting for 2026. It's like I did my video where I said everybody's waiting for BTS to save the day. Yeah. I love ancient Egypt. I was so proud of Junie. I was so proud. And he looked so good, y'all. Let me just de-evolve here. Like I'm all smart and I'm like history. Now let's talk about how good Junie looks. Such a deep conversation, but let's just talk about what's really important. Did y'all see how good Junie looked? Did y'all see this man? I was sitting there going, "Ooh, did you see Namjoon and how Namjoon looked good? Oh my God, his hair, oh my God." I was like, Namjoon was looking too fine, honey. He was up there talking, and the way he was talking, girl, girl, he had a girl hypnotized. I was like, oh, okay, that's why I had to listen to it a few times. Because the first time I watched it, I was like, is that Namjoon? Is that? Oh, I'm like, girl, you're supposed to be listening. I'm like, Kiki, listen. I'm like, okay. Yeah, I'm trying to listen, and I'm like, that suit is fitting real nice. That suit is fitting real nice. And I'm like, girl, stop. So that's another reason why, just my confession, I had to watch it a few times because Namjoon, his hair, like I am a big hair person. If y'all don't know it, I'm just put it all out there. I'm a big hair girl. Like I like a man with good hair. Like I love a man with a good, oh my God. Like it could be the ugliest dude and he could have some nice hair and I'm like, so that hair, yeah. His hair does grow fast. Every time I see him, he looks different. I didn't even see Bang PD Katina. Was he there? I should have known he was there. Bang PD lost a lot of weight. Y'all leave Oprah alone. Leave Bang PD's going through so much right now. Bang PD, I have to see what he looked like. But yes, I was like, that hair could have its own show. Like I just love a man with a nice, all Korean dudes have real nice hair. And their salon is so real good. Oh my God, Bang PD was there. I got to go back and look. Because, you know, I like Bang PD. You see? Oh, fuck. But yeah, so that was RM. Again, go take a look at my festive video where my friends were sending me pictures and stuff about that. Okay, so who are we going on to next? Let's talk about the Bang PD is going through. Oh, Bang PD. Let's talk about JK. JK has stressed me out. JK has literally had me have sleepless nights. JK did live stream after live stream for hours. I posted his other live stream where he was eating concho and he was tearing the concho up because he was looking for his name. These conchos, these little chocolate-filled crunchy cookies. And I don't know why he eating these damn crunchy cookies because they are not diet friendly. But JK bought like 2 garbage bags full of concho. Now I don't, yeah, Bon PD look good. He lost a bunch of weight. JK is out there. Somebody stop this man. Okay, he had 2 big bags of concho. He was just eating them. Then he called Jen and he was like, okay, let's go play. And I think they played Overwatch, but we couldn't see the screen. They sat on a live stream for almost 2 hours and played a game. He was looking at, see, poor baby, he was looking for his name. He was like, Jimmy, he couldn't find his name. So him and Jen, the first live stream, I'm just sitting there like this. I just be like, yeah, we're going to get into the Calvin Klein ads. It was fire. But him and Jen sat there and played Overwatch. I think we didn't get to see. But JK promised us. He said, next time, I'm going to make sure that y'all can see the screen. We going to fix this. I was like, okay, JK, whatever. You must be real bored. Then the JK CK ad. So he did a CK ad. And if y'all haven't seen it, please go look it up on YouTube. He's on a motorcycle. I love this. And I normally do. I'm going to tell y'all right now. I normally do not like CK ads. But boy, baby, JK, he was on a motorcycle. He's like, vroom, 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 vroom. And it's all like black and red, my favorite colors. And then he's like in this hotel, in this elevator. And then he's dancing and he don't have no shirt on. And his shirt's all up. And he dancing and he's shaking it. And he twirling around. He twirling around. Bitch, he twirling. And then he all up in the camera. And I was like, I didn't know this was a Calvin Klein ad. I forgot what they was even selling. I was like, is this a Calvin Klein ad or is this a thirst trap? What is this? And I was like, but he dancing. And then so I had to watch it again because, you know, research purposes. Y'all know I be in the I had to research. So I watched it again. Then I was like, well, you know what? I watched the behind the scenes, y'all, because somebody was like, you need to go. I watched the behind the scenes. Then went back and watched it again after I watched the behind the scenes because I got more clarity. I needed some more clarity. So I watched that Calvin Klein ad probably about 6 or 7 times. Yeah, then he's on the bed. And he on the bed like, I'm like, what? I'm like, oh, okay, so we're on the bed. I had to watch it, yes, for research purposes, y'all. For research purposes. Yeah, the motorcycle one, baby. I was like, again, this wasn't a Calvin Klein ad to me. This was a thirst trap. Because I was like, surely. And then I went online and I read on YouTube and I was reading the comments and everybody was like, what is happening? And JK look, I mean, JK has been working out. He done lost a whole bunch of weight. Like JK he's really thin, like really, really, really thin. Like his face is like gaunt thin, like a little bit too thin for my taste, but you can tell he's in shape. But Kim said she was smoking. She's like just nervous. But JK, you can tell he lost a lot of weight. So JK come on and do a live. This time he come on for a little bit. And then he on live stream, he ordering some food. So JK want to order food from, what was it? Shake Shack. I've never had Shake Shack, but there is one. I think there's one here in Texas, but I was like, okay. Yeah, the live with JK and Jen was boring to me. I was just like, okay. But people stayed on it. I was like, okay, I'm here for posterity's sake. You know, I was just like, well, you know, I guess I'm recording it. I wasn't really that busy. So JK come back on again. And I'm just sitting there minding my business, trying to work. And then here he come on again. And I'm like, dang, JK again? Oh, it'd be early. And so JK ordered from Shake Shack. And then he turns the camera off. And then he comes back on again. Like, I'm thinking, what now? Hello from Japan. Domo arigato. So I just was like, so JK is got his food. He's showing his food, and it's like a greasy bacon ass hamburger with some fries and I think a shake. And once again, I'm like, is this, sir? You done lost all this weight, and you over here just chowing down. And it with the concho again. I'm with the concho again. He over there. JK was hungry. He wasn't playing. He wasn't playing at all. He wasn't playing about that food. So he was up there eating this juicy, greasy hamburger. Like he actually, yeah, I was hungry. I was kind of like, oh, that was a lot of food. So he was on, and then people were asking him in the comments section. So I recorded that. I put the 2 recordings together, and I'm thinking, okay. And people were asking him, talking about he needed to eat. Yeah, he was hungry. Don't nobody eat like JK. Don't nobody do live streams like JK. Don't nobody eat like JK. Oh, yeah, I figured he lost the weight for the CK shoot. Because he's lost a lot of weight. From the last time we seen him, like 3 weeks ago, he didn't look like he lost about at least 15 pounds or so, 15, 20. He looked like he's lost quite a bit of weight. And I understand that, and maybe because the CK stuff is over, maybe he's like, nah, I can really eat. Because you know how it be with these K-pop singers. So he's on top of, and people are asking where he was at. I'm like, I know where JK's at. I said it. Katina said, oh, you see he's somewhere. I said, I know he's on top of his house. I'm like, I know where that's at. He's on top of his house. And so you can see like the tower in the background. I was like, he was on top of his house, y'all. That's where he was at. Because on top of his house, on top of his roof, there's like a pool. On top of his roof, it's like a pool. He has like a pool on the top floor of his house. And it has like glass around like the pool or whatever. But yes, up there's a pool. There's like don't ask me how I know. But on top of JK's roof is a pool. And then like the material that his house is made out of, the outside, it's like a dark black granite looking color. So I was like, I know where he's at. He's on top of his roof. He's on top of his deck upstairs. That's what it looked, because it oversees, just you can see the what is it called, the Namaste tower. There's a tower, famous tower, and that's where his house, because his house is up a hill. And you wasn't gonna ask? How you know? If you know, you know. I've seen JK's house, so that's why I was like, that's his house, because I recognized. I was like, oh, he had his house, but I didn't say anything on the live stream. But I was gonna come tell y'all. People wonder where he was at. He was on top of his house, but he was eating and then he cut off the live stream. So I'm thinking, okay, JK, just let me breathe, okay? JK, he ain't letting nobody breathe. So JK, so Jen come on and do a live stream, and he's singing or whatever, and JK and J-Hope are there, and I should have known something was up, because I figured that they were rehearsing. And so they were all up there singing. I figured that they were rehearsing. And I'm thinking to myself, JK and J-Hope gonna be there on the concert, and Jen has had 2 encore performances. And that first night, which was Friday, J-Hope and JK got up there and performed. And I was in shock. I bet he's going to pick up a Balenciaga. Yeah, he had a Balenciaga shirt on. Yeah, he had a Balenciaga shirt on. I noticed that too. I was like, he got a Balenciaga shirt on. I'm like, is he gonna pick up that one too? I don't know. I don't know if he was just wearing the shirt or what. I don't know what was up with that, but I did notice that he had that shirt on. But so they did perform, and so those of you who've seen it online or TikTok or wherever, J-Hope was looking. First of all, Jen, y'all. I understand JK was there. I understand J-Hope was there. I get all of that. I was mesmerized. Jen had a girl hypnotized. Girl, Jen had me like, I was like, wait a minute. Is that sock Jen? I'm like, girl, Jen had me gone. I was gone on some Jen. Jen had me gone. Jen looked, my jaw dropped. I was like, not saying that Jen don't ever look good, but the outfit he had on was my aesthetic. Jen was, baby, he had that red and black on, girl. I was like, oh, he wearing my kind of clothes. Like, there's a certain style of clothes that I like on a man. Jen looks so good. Like, a JK blew me away. JK got up there and sang standing next to you. Oh, Jen and RM are your biases. Girl, Jen hair was, y'all know I'm a hair girl. It was coiffed. His hair was coiffed. That hair was laid. He had that red jacket on, and I was like, okay, Jen. And then JK was up there. J-Hope was up there singing along and dancing, and he was doing his thing. But Lord, oh Lord, talking about these brats are gonna hospitalize people with their new clothes. Girl, Jen was, whew. I was like, okay, Jen. So they got up there, performed, and I was scrambling, because it's hot, y'all. It's like I'm scrambling trying to do things. It's right before Halloween, so I'm scrambling. I'm watching the performance. I'm trying to post shorts of it, and then YouTube kept blocking every time I try to. Like, I have to get a specific kind of short and download it. Like, I can't take it from the performance itself, because somebody was sending me video of the performance itself, and then I couldn't post that because YouTube will block it. Well, Hive has it blocked, saying that this stuff is copyright. Even if I took the music out of it, Hive was blocking the video, so I can't even post the videos that I have because I have the whole performance. Somebody sent it to me, but then I couldn't even post it on YouTube. So I got tired, went to bed, and gave up. But yes, they were out there, putting in the good work. So then last night, it happened again. Jin was performing the last day, and then Jimin and Kim Tae-young showed up. This time I have to put more effort into it because Jimin and Kim Tae-young, they did a live stream together as well. And so I took shorts from that one and I have them all set up in the queue, but I watched their live stream. I didn't want, they were gaming too. Wait a minute, let me go back. JK gamed on a live stream. I reposted it for 2 hours. He was playing a game called Party Animals. And I had never heard of this game. My kids have never played it, but apparently it's popular. And he played it for 2 hours, and he played it to where you can see the stream. So it's where you can see the screen. So it's kind of like a Twitch gaming stream. So I posted that, by the way, and I stayed up till 3 o'clock in the morning. And then once I get that video, I have to render it. That takes about an hour and a half. And then I have to upload it. Then I got to make sure there's no copyright. It literally took me like a day and a half to finally get this video up today, but I got it up. But yes, Jimin, Jin, and Taeyoung was up there. Taeyoung was crying. Like, I went back and watched the videos. Taeyoung got very emotional. He got on stage, and he seemed like he was kind of like he was a little sheepish. And he got up there and he cried. And I don't know why he was emotional. And Jin kind of laughed it off. You know, Jin was kind of cute. And he was like, why are you crying? He's like, is this an enlistment day? So I guess Taeyoung probably cried on enlistment day. He's like, you're not enlisting, like, in the military. So Taeyoung got up there and got emotional and cried. Jimin got up there and got emotional because I guess, I don't know why they got emotional. I guess for them being on stage. It's been so long since they've actually been on stage. So Taeyoung was so cute that he got up there and he didn't want to, he turned around and Jimin and Taeyoung just looked like they just wandered. Like Jimin, wait a minute. Jimin and Kim Taeyoung looked like they just wandered out from the crowd and was like, oh, what y'all got going on here? Okay, we on stage. Like they was very nonchalant and cool about it. You know, Jimin, this is the first time Jimin has actually sung on stage, I think in like 2 years. And so I know it was very emotional for a lot of you guys. Because he said he never thought he would see them back on stage together. Oh, yeah, it has been so long. It's been over 2 years. Yes, Jimin and Taeyoung were looking so good. Taeyoung got out there with a backpack on. He looked like he was ready to go to school. I don't know, but they did. They just wandered around on stage like, hey, what are we doing? Like, okay. And then at one time, I think Jimin didn't even have a microphone. I was like, what is happening? Is this like, they just wandered on stage like, oh, where we going? And Jimin got up there and Jimin was emotional. And Jimin looked good with his blonde hair. And Taeyoung looked fabulous as always because, you know, Tay. And once again, Jin, I'm like, Jin had this black shirt, this black pants, and this like sparkly jacket. And once again, Jin, I was like, I don't know who styled Jin for these 2 days, but whoever styled Jin, chef's kiss. Whoever styled Jin, if you listening, crew, lady, man, woman, whoever decided to style Jin, he looked fabulous. Like the whole concert, I was like choking. I was like, he had me in a chokehold. Jin looked good. These two aren't gonna perform. Even when I saw Jin in Dallas, by the way, I have a whole vlog about Jin, seeing Jin in Dallas, and I recorded the concert when I went to go see him. Even in Dallas, Jin always looked good. But this encore, baby, they pulled out all the outfits. I don't know where they was getting the fits from, but they pulled out everything. But he was styled perfectly. Hair, all the outfits. Taeyoung said he was on his way home and they called him back. Is that what really happened? Are y'all serious? Jin in black is a whole nother vibe. When he was doing roping, I was like, he had an outfit on. It was sexy. That was a sexy outfit. He was he looked very, the styling is very, very good. And Jin is not one that I find, I Jin is very handsome, but like some of y'all who love Jin, y'all go crazy over him. Y'all be like, hi, Jin, oh my. I find Jin attract. I think all of BTS are good looking guys. Like compared to regular Korean guys, they are exemplary. But Jin, Jin is much more Korean aesthetic, like matinee handsome. Like he's much more of the aesthetic. So Jin does have a lot more fans in Korea than like in international spaces. But Jin is still a good. I mean, even when Jin does photography, he has a face for photography. So the light catches his face. His bone structure is very good. Jin takes good photos. Like Jin is just naturally a handsome. He's been naturally a handsome guy ever since they debuted. Jin really hasn't changed. He still looks very young. And so Jin, good genetics. Like he got some good genes going on because Jin is a very, very, very handsome guy. And so, but in certain hairstyles and outfits, I just prefer them more. When Jin has his hair up, I love when he has his hair up. Like I think he looks, yes, we're talking K-pop. You Jin merched up? Boy, y'all some super fans. Oh, he told Jin he wasn't staying for the end. Yeah, Kim Tae-young and Jimin just seemed like they just wandered out from behind. Like they was just passing by. Like I was just driving by and it just showed up here. What y'all doing? Yes, Jin is very naturally handsome. He doesn't need much of anything. I mean, Jin don't need no plastic surgery. Jin don't need much of anything. He's always pretty much looked the same. And that's another reason why they wanted him because he was very handsome. Everybody thought he was very handsome. Bottom baddie is I saw Jimin with the blonde hair. Did you see Jimin's? Oh, boom! No, I did not. I did. Y'all know. Wait a minute. I do not be looking at Jimin like that at all. Now there are some pictures of Jimin that I'll be like, all right, Jimin. Now Kim Tae-young. I'm gonna say less about that. Kim Tae-young, I find, is ethereal, like good looking, and same thing with Jimin. Kim Tae-young is like disturbingly, like he disturbs me. Like he looks so good that I don't like. Sometimes I'll be like, is it AI? Like is it real? Like Kim Tae-young is just otherworldly handsome to me. I've seen Kim Tae-young with no makeup on when he roll up out the bed, and Kim Tae-young is to me aesthetically what I would consider a traditionally more handsome guy, but then again, I'm a Westerner, so I'm a Westerner, so our version. But he don't really. But there are some photo shoots that I'll be like, girl, Jimin, I just might like Jimin be having me like willing to risk it all. But naturally speaking, I don't be looking at Jimin like that. I'll be like, oh, Jimin's so handsome, he's such a good singer, and I like Jimin's mannerisms and I like his stage presence. That's what I really like about Jimin. But a lot of people think he's beautiful. No, yeah, nobody looks like Kim Tae-young. When I first saw Kim Tae-young, I didn't know he was Korean. I had no idea. I thought he was like maybe half Korean. I didn't know that he was Korean. Like I thought he was something else. Like I thought he was maybe like Filipino or half European and half Korean maybe. I didn't know what When I first saw Kim Tae-young, I was like, who is this guy? I was confused. I was like, who is this? And then somebody told me that Kim Tae-young's mom is half Filipino. Somebody told me that. I don't know if that's true or not, but I've been told that. And because I saw Kim Tae-young and I was confused. I was like, so who is this dude? Nobody, and same thing with Jimin. Nobody looks like Jimin. I've never seen any Korean guy in real life look like Jimin. That's it. Yes, Kim Tae-young looks very mixed Korean. He looks like he looks like he's part Japanese. I thought he was Japanese, European, Filipino, and Korean. Like I thought he was a hodgepodge of different things. Have you seen this tier ad? It's giving. No, I have not. But yeah, I heard that Kim Tae-young's mom is half Filipino, which would make sense because Oh yeah, I know who. Ava said, "You know who got me." I've seen his brother and sister. I have seen them. his brother and his sister, they look pretty much alike. I've seen older pictures of them. I don't know what they look like. Kim Tae-young's brother and sister look very much like him. His sister is absolutely positively gorgeous. She's gorgeous. I've seen them. I've seen them. Nobody, y'all haven't seen them? All right. Okay, well. He's the new who is the new ambassador for Tier Cosmetics? Y'all tell me, Katina, who's the ambassador? Who is it? I've seen it. I've seen. You know what? I won't get it. Have y'all ever seen the video of Kim Tae-young and his cousin? Have y'all ever seen that video? Oh, just leave it there. Oh, Kim Tae-young is the new ambassador for Tier Cosmetics. Y'all like, anyway, let's move on. Let's just go ahead and, and so I have to confess. Oh, I think it's, so Kim, Tier, and I was like, okay, I've never heard of Tier, but I have to see it. I told y'all, for those of you who are memberships to my channel, y'all know about the gossip that I told y'all. We talked about this. I made a post about BTS about what I heard about a BTS member, but I didn't know which one though. So that just kind of, y'all never seen that video? Okay. Y'all never seen, oh my God. Okay, I'll try. Oh wait, you know what? Forget I said anything. Anyway, yes. So wait, what did I miss? Nothing. Y'all didn't miss nothing. I said, have y'all ever seen the video of Kim Tae-young and his cousin? And y'all were like, what video? I was like, oh, well, I've seen the video. Yeah. Hey, Natalie, what's up? Oh, yeah. So that's all of BTS. Except Kim said, there's a video. Oh my God, y'all. There's a video of Kim Tae-young and his cousin. There's a video. I thought everybody seen this. Oh, I seen the video. What is nothing to spill? I seen it. Okay, I seen the video. What I was talking about, if y'all are membership to my channel, y'all get access to K-Pop Confidential. And I did make a, see, Natalie seen it? Thank you, Natalie. But I said that there is some tea regarding a BTS member and a product. And I don't know. I have to look up to see if this is what it is. But I have to look up. But there was some rumors going around about BTS member. Just go down the rabbit hole. So you're welcome. Thank you, Natalie. See? Go down that rabbit hole, y'all. Get off this. When this video's done, y'all go down that rabbit hole. Y'all be like, what's she talking about? I'm like, I've seen the video. Natalie seen the video. Y'all ain't seen the video. I've seen the video. Where is it? Someone showed it to me. Somebody showed it to me. So I just assumed that everybody else has seen it. So somebody showed me the video like that. I didn't see it. Somebody was like, look here. Just like when I talk about them Yoongi pictures, a girl sitting on his lap. Somebody showed me these pictures. And I was like, girl, I'll tell you, those pictures is out there, y'all. People show me things or send me things. And I'm like, what is this? And then they don't tell me where they got it from. And I look at it and be like, oh, okay. But they don't really tell me what they just. So I just assume that everybody else is seeing it too. Like like the Yoongi girl sitting on his lap. I thought everybody seen them pictures, but y'all was like, what? I don't know what it's called. Somebody showed it to me. It is real. Y'all seen, yeah. And we're gonna get into last but definitely not least on my list. You see, Katina, remember it. Last but definitely not least is Sugar. Now, I went out and created this really cute missing poster for Sugar, saying that he's missing because we have not seen anything. So why all you guys, all you Jin biases, sissies, you people loving RMs, you J-Hope fanatics, you people who love Tay, you people who love Jimin, and you know you JK freaks out there, y'all know. While all of y'all loving this, y'all are like, oh yeah, look at my bias, he's on stage. Hey, ho. Just remember me. when you're enjoying pictures of your bias and you're on a live stream, just clamp that down a little bit and just be like, man, Kiki over here, she just, while I'm recording all these live streams and talking about them, I'm just over here like this. Oh, that's nice. Oh, JK's doing another live stream. Oh, okay. Kim Tae-young and Jimin on live stream together. They playing the game for 2 hours. Oh, that's nice. Jen did a live stream after the concert. I'm like, oh, okay. That's good. Yeah. Enjoy. Enjoy. Have a good time with your biases. Y'all have fun. I'll be right here, salty. Just salty like a cracker. Salty. Cause my bias is not here. And again, let me reiterate again for the 100th time. I am new BTS Army. All of these years, y'all have had OT7. Y'all have had interviews from Yoongi. Y'all have had V-Lives. Y'all have had Weverses from Yoongi. Y'all have had pictures and posts and Instagram. Y'all have had all of these things for years. I am new Army. I became BTS Army when the Sugar scandal happened. Sugar's my bias. I have not experienced anything from my bias, really. At all. So, I have to go back and watch all of these old interviews and these old V-Lives and these old Weverses. Yes, Natalie. Come on, no, he's ghosting us. So you guys have had, some of you guys have been fans for a long time. You've had years with all the members, and I have not. And I thought when I became Army, before the scandal happened, I thought, oh my God, I can't wait till my bias gets out the military, because then I will be in my Yoongi era, and I get to see my bias live, and I get to experience what everybody has been experiencing for years. I have been cut short. I've been cut off. We've been cut off. I've never, I think so too. I think Kimmy's doing good work. And all I can do is say that I respect it. I understand it and I respect it. Whatever Sugar wants to do, I respect it. I have no choice. If he likes it, I love it. I have no choice but to respect it. And I respect his decision and what he wants to do. And that's his decision. And I understand it. Like, I understand how Korea society went in on him so hard that it was probably traumatic. I can just imagine, like, I just remember the horrible things they were saying about him. Hello, Felix is on my bed. Hello. So yes, I respect his private life. I respect his decision. I may not particularly like it, but I respect it and I understand it. They drug him through the mud, you know. It is Minnie, Jin, and all them people. Yeah. His music should be very interesting. So I respect it. However, we're going to have this conversation, but it doesn't negate the business conversation. There is a conversation to be had business-wise, because I don't understand, I need some hugs. Because yes, Yoongi is still in hibernation until it's time. They did do him dirty. Real unnecessarily dirty. They did him real dirty. I won't forget how dirty they did Yoongi. I will never forget that. I will never forget what the things that were said online and the things that were done and the funeral wreaths and all that. That would be enough to traumatize me as well. Yeah, they disappeared because of that. Yeah, because they did him dirty. And I'll never forgive people for that. Like that, I will never forgive the media, the Korean media, for what they did. Once the Korean media did that, I knew that they were full of ish. When the Korean media was hounded him so mercilessly. I'll never forget that. So I don't blame Yoongi for not wanting to come out until it's closer for the album to be released or the tour. He knows, but like I said, it's a business conversation as well. I mean, he knows he has to do promotions and he has to do photo cards and he has to do all that. And I'm sure behind the scenes, Yoongi is doing all of that. Because if anything, Yoongi is professional. Suga is a professional person. And I've never heard anyone say anything about him being unprofessional. And he's professional. But all the extra stuff that they are not really required to do, but they do to up their brand and their visibility. All the other extra things that they do, like the Instagram posts and the Weverse lives and stuff like that, that just boosts their brand and their ambassadorships and their own visibility and their own personal, like, brand rankings when it comes to extra opportunities outside of just the group. And I don't think, and I honestly, in my opinion, I don't think Sugar cares about that anymore. I don't think he cares. I really don't. I can't see, if he cared, he would be doing it. And I don't think Yoongi cares. I don't think I think maybe the company is a little salty. Maybe they have had talks with him and been like, okay, Sugar, like, we kind of need you to get on out there, and maybe he's like, no, I don't want to. So I don't know what conversations are had. Now that's something I don't have any knowledge or any gossip about. But I can just imagine that as you're running a company like Big Hit and Hide, that you are like, okay, like, because their money is entwined with BTS as well. Each one of them, they get a piece of the branding deals. So to have Sugar kind of like dormant or on the sidelines, that kind of affects their bag too. Yoongi is unbothered. I think he's unbothered. Why would they even make him apologize for no reason during his military service? He was so sad. Yeah, that I went back and read that apology. That apology, I went and read it the other day, Natalie. It came up. I had it screenshotted. I have it screenshot in my phone, that apology he made. And it came up. It came up in my when I was going through my phone looking at my screenshots, and I went back and read it the other day. And it just sounded so sad. Like it just sounded so sad. Like the apology. It sounded so sad. You know. Like it was August, It's gonna be wild here when he comes. It's gonna be wild for me, Katina. I might get arrested. I'm telling you, I need to start my GoFundMe early. Just y'all need to donate to our GoFundMe just in case I get arrested. I'm just letting y'all know. And then y'all also need to start a GoFundMe because Jennifer, once again, Jennifer tells me that she is not gonna go. She's not here for my shenanigans and my bullshit. That Jennifer says she's not going with me if I wear a whole bridal gown and a veil. Like, well, we're still trying to negotiate. I'm in the middle of negotiations with Jennifer because, girl, Jennifer is like, I'm not going with you if you're gonna cut up. Yeah, I was really mad when they made him apologize. Girl, like I said, I posted it on my post, like my original video of me going off and how upset I was about the whole Yoongi thing and how he looked so sad. Like I have that video on my phone to this day. That video is saved on my phone. His apology, and I watched it the other day, and he looked so sad and he looked so stressed. Like, if you just watch his movements, it's real skittish. I've never seen Yoongi ever look like that. Look that skittish and sad. It's going to be very emotional. When he hits that stage, the fans are going to go crazy. They're going to cry. They're going to cheer. He apologized like 4 times. Yes, Marie, he apologized. He wrote 2 handwritten apologies. He did a statement. He got there and did a police line in front of the reporters and sat there and bowed and apologized. And I know damn well, and he looked like he hadn't slept. He looked nervous. His lips were all cracked. You could tell that he was going through it. You and Jennifer, not the wedding dress. ATP 86, don't do her. Don't side with Jennifer. You're supposed to side with me. Let me wear my wedding dress and my hold up my sign to my Yoongi marry me. It didn't even look like Yoongi. I agree. I watched that video and I'm like, I watched it over. I mean, when that video hit, like I said, I have the video recorded on my phone. I literally watched that video over and over and over again for like a day. Like, I would just like, let me watch it again. And then listen to what he's saying. And then hearing the translation. And then watching it again. And just me trying to understand, like, why are they doing this? I was baby Army. I didn't know. I didn't understand what was happening. Like, I was like, why are they hemming this dude up? Hello! Man, Moonlight, I know you over there about to fall down because I know you saw your man Jimin up there. I know Moonlight was like, she saw Jimin and passed out, baby. Hold on, she saw Jimin was like, what? Jimin? What Jimin CC? I know y'all Jimin fans was about ready to have a heart attack. Some of y'all was staring at his booty. I don't know. Y'all some freaks. Like, I don't I might do a purple wedding dress, Ice Queen. Don't tempt me. But Jenna says she won't. Jennifer says she is not going to go with me if I go all out. So again, we have to compromise on the veil. Yeah, it's a shame what they did to Sugar. I tried to break him and humiliate him and hurt him. And like I said, Sugar is a strong person. People are like, oh, he'll be okay. I'm like, but you, and I told y'all before, and I'm gonna say this again before we're gonna talk about the BTS tour next. I'm gonna say it and I'm gonna say it again. What happens with the media and in front of everybody and with the fans is one thing. But I tell y'all what happened behind closed doors is something completely different in the K industry. When scandals hit, it echoes, it reverberates, it echoes. So I can tell you for a fact that, almost for a fact, that from what I heard from this scandal, because I asked, once I started to get to know people in Korea, I started asking. And I'm like, so what's going on? And people, it reverberates and it echoes. Like in the business, once scandal hits, people don't want to F with you. People start to distance themselves. People who you thought were that had your back and was cool with you start to back up a little bit. And I'm not talking about other BTS members. I'm talking about people outside of his group. So people in the industry, other people in other creatives, other composers, other songwriters, things like that. When things like this happen, it's like a chilling effect to your career. So people who you thought was cool ain't cool with you no more. Women that you thought were dating you people start acting funny. I'm just gonna leave it there. But again, I'm just putting it out there. So what we see is one thing, but what happens behind closed doors is something else. Like, it's something completely different. Look, I can't do the wedding. Jennifer won't let me. Yes, Jimin has lost a lot of weight. Jimin is serendipity Jimin. Boy, baby. I was like, ooh, is it Jimin? But poor Sugar, yeah, we haven't heard from him. And again, I am a little salty, but I have to respect it. I've learned to respect it. Look how crazy people went during Yoongi. Yeah. Yeah, Army did a purple ribbon thing, and they donated, and they stood outside of Hive's office. I love that the fans were posting things and standing outside and trying to block the funeral wreaths and everything like that. But I'm going to tell you that okay, I won't say that. Anyway, I'm going to keep my mouth shut. I'm going to keep my mouth shut. I'm just saying that okay, let me put it this way. When somebody put funeral wreaths up at Hive, it becomes up at any agency. It becomes the talk of the agency. And y'all don't think that the artists don't know. They do know. When people were walking around talking about OT6, what got me so angry, I was like, you do know that the artist is hearing this from other people, even if they may not see it, if they may be blocking it. Other people are telling them, this is what's happening. You know, people going around talking about OT6. You know, people going around talking about they want you out the group, because that's what people were saying about Yoongi, that they wanted him out of the group, a group that he helped found. I mean, that was crazy. So yes, people were talking about OT6 and putting these hashtags out here. And then the fake sugar challenge, where people were posting fake videos of people drinking and driving, trying to say this is what armies were doing. And then Army went crazy. They were like, we're not doing this. And it turns out it was a bunch of NCT and Blinks that were going around saying that Army was doing sugar like, it even made the news in Korea. That's how horrible it was. And then the fake video came out. I could talk. And again, I'm going to say it before and say it again. When that fake video came out and they were like, this is him on a scooter. And I'm like, that don't look like a scooter. It look like somebody on a moped. That's too fast. He wasn't even on the street. Then when the real video came out, again, let me say it again. When that fake video was out, there was a bunch of content creators that I unsubscribed from because they took this narrative and they ran with it. I looked at the video and I said, that's not a scooter. That looks like a motorcycle or a moped, first of all. And I was like, he said he was on a scooter. And then when the real video came out, these MFers didn't apologize. They didn't say nothing. They just went about their effing way. They didn't come back and say, oh, well, the video's incorrect or they got the video wrong. No, these MFers drove Yoongi for filth, posted excerpts of that video, and then after and then when the real video came out, didn't retract their statements and didn't apologize. Even though a bunch of us was in their comment sections going, this is not the right video. Make a follow-up video at least saying, okay, the news posted this video and this is incorrect. The K media, they came back and apologized and extracted the video, which again, how did y'all get the video? And nobody really answered me as to how they got in the video. How did they get this video? And how and why they thought this was Yoongi on a video when the video was old. It was an old video, but somehow they made a mistake. Okay, but at least they retracted it. But these content creators did not. And so I got mad at them. So I was angry with them as well. So I started unsubscribing to a bunch of channels because a bunch of content creators went with this narrative and went with it, and I unsubscribed from a bunch of them. I said, I'm done with y'all because y'all, and I was like, this is not the right, y'all gonna retract y'all statements? Y'all gonna clarify? No? Oh, okay. They just kept on dragging BTS and dragging Sugar and didn't say that this video that they just talked about was not the right video. So I was done with it. I was done with a lot of them. I started unsubscribing because I was like, y'all, And then the few people that I did subscribe to, those are the only ones that were left standing. So High Boy and Asian Entertainment and Soul Light TV and What You Gotta Say and Lonely Dad, those are the only ones that was left standing. All the rest of them mofos that was up there dragging Sugar and making fun of Sugar and all this stuff, I was waiting for them to retract their videos and they didn't. And I was like, no, go. I knew it was fake. The video looked fake. And it turned out the video was old. It was an old video. You know? And yeah, they didn't. And then they didn't. They just didn't. And so the ones that didn't retract their statement, the ones, yeah, Soul Light Opa. Oh, I miss Soul Light Opa. I don't know where he's been going. He ain't posted in like a whole month. I hope he's okay. And Boris City, yes, I subscribe to Boris City, but Boris City be getting on my nerves lately. So she's been getting on my nerves lately. But yes, Boris City. But all the rest of the ones I unsubscribed to because they were all out here like RM does have a sexy voice. Oh Lord. Okay, y'all distracted me. But yeah, so that was my baptism by fire. For I bring up all the time, just people reminding me. And yes, we do miss Sugar. And I again I feel robbed because I have not had a chance to enjoy any of the Sugar stuff. I just have to go back and watch it on TV and cackle and be like, oh, Yoongi, you're so funny. And then knowing that, oh, are we ever gonna see this again? Like, you know. There you go. And like I said, Sugar can have as much time as he needs. We don't have no choice but to like it and love it. But then again, like I said, for me as a business person, I'm thinking business wise, this must rub the company kind of the wrong way. That he probably has people in his face a lot going, okay, are you ready to come out? Like, you just have to come out. And I would have thought, I'm gonna be honest, I'm gonna be real with y'all. I would have thought Sugar would have came out by now. I would have thought once he was out of the military, I would have thought he would have been like, okay, like enough of this. I'm not hiding anymore. I'm not in the military. I'm not hiding. I'm slowly but surely. I thought he would slowly but surely start to do things and then come out and do a live stream. But I'm surprised. It's November, and I thought by now that he would have came out slowly and started to do things. You know. Sugar sexy voice, yeah. I do watch. I fall asleep to the Run BTS episodes. So yeah, I do watch the Run BTS episodes. I watch the music videos and I watch all his interviews and stuff. And that's the only thing, you know. You're not shocked that he didn't. I am shocked. I'm shocked that he not come back fully, but just come back at all. Like I really thought. Was Boris City the one who got mad when Big Hit announced they were going to put out their own documentary about BTS because she felt it was copying her YouTube videos? Was she? Oh, I didn't know. I think he doesn't trust fans anymore. He's not ready just yet because he's been through so much. I agree, Marina. I do. I feel like he doesn't trust the fans enough either. I agree. I don't know. Was that Boris City? Again, I've only been subscribed to Boris City for about a year. Huh? It might have been, but she gets on my nerves too. Like I like it when she was doing her long form explainer videos, but when she goes live and she be on that bullshit, I'm like, girl, she, she Boris City be too much on that gatekeeping bullshit. That I don't like. Boris City be she just be she just be talking about, you know, bullshit. Like she just be like, oh, well, this and this and that. I'm like, girl, gone. I think he's nervous and he's careful. I think, and I think maybe, I don't blame him. No, yeah, half the internet was claiming to be army and attacking him. Yeah, I agree. And like I said, I told y'all before, behind the scenes, it's an MFer. Behind the scenes, it's much more than what we see. It's behind the scenes. Like I said, just like in any situation, even in our real lives, when ish hit the fan, you really get to see the real character of people. Especially, and it's hard, especially in the entertainment industry, whether here in America or in South Korea. But even in our own personal lives, I've been through things where I'll be like, surely this friend got my back, and then people don't have your back when things hit like this. That you will get a rude, and I'm can probably say, being an adult who's lived a long life, that he's probably experienced some things that he did not want to experience. I mean, just imagine being Korean. First of all, your family. Just imagine this happening and coming in with an Asian Korean family. So not only is your family questioning you, which I'm sure they look, yeah, I'm sure your family's like, what happened? What are you doing? You're embarrassing us. Da, 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 da. So not only your family, then you have your bandmates. What happened? What happened? What are you doing? Da, 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 da. Then you have the executives, your manager, your team that he works with. What happened? What did you do? Da, 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 da. Everybody in your team, all these people have all different opinions. So some are going to support you, some are going to be very critical, some are going to be mean to you, some are going to turn their back on you. Some are going to be like, I'm just not going to F with you no more. So, oh, you don't follow any BTS channels like that? Just mine? You casually check out? I do too. DKD TV every once in a while. Yeah. And so, yeah. People are asking you what, when, where, how. How many times do you have to explain and apologize? And how many people, just imagine how many people Yoongi had to apologize to. How many people he had to apologize to and explain this to. And every time you explain it, it's traumatic. Every time you apologize, it's traumatic. Every time people like, what, everybody's going to be like, what happened? What happened? So for months, he probably had to apologize and explain to people, at least for the first week that it happened. Because everybody, including your extended family, your cousins, your aunts, your uncles, everybody going to be talking about it. Everybody in the family going to want to know. Your parents are going to be embarrassed. Your brother's going to be embarrassed. Your in-laws. You're like, okay, like, how many times did I tell y'all? This is what happened. Did you see Jungkook in New York? No, I did not see Jungkook in New York. Yes, he did. He talking about he slept in his parents' bed after Map of the Soul tour was canceled. So you just imagine if Yoongi's close with his parents, and I'm sure his parents are like, what happened? Then the parents, they have friends, and you have extended family that they all want to know what happened. Oh, I need to see that then. She said, none of your business. Ice Queen said, none of you. Ain't none of your damn business, family and friends. But yes, being Asian, he has a responsibility to everybody. And so everybody's going to just naturally want to know what happened. And then you see family and friends and people who you like, oh, well, kind of like shade you or kind of, ooh, yikes, he's going through, try to distance themselves. And then some people are like, I got your back. And then some people are just kind of like, they try to wait it out. So I don't know what. So again, we don't know what Yoongi experienced behind the scenes from people, but people are people everywhere, and that just happens to everybody. When the ish hits the fan, you really get to see the character of the people around you. Because some people in the music industry, they want to be cool with you because he's Yoongi and he's famous. And some people want to be around you because you're Yoongi, you're famous. You have, they just want to be around you because they clout chasing, they're hangers on, and those people go quick. And then some people really, really, really are down for you and really cool for you. But then, like I said, in the music industry, there are a lot of fake people, a lot of fake people who are just there because he part of BTS, And like I told people, I said it even affects people's relationships. There's time people date people, and the moment they hit a scandal, that dude or that chick is gone. They like, oh well, I'm sorry this happened to you, boo, but because this, how it is. It may affect my reputation too. You know what happened to you, and why'd you go out and ruin this, and why'd you? So again, you don't know what situation romantically he may have been seeing somebody, and that person may have been like, oh well, yikes, like whoo, I don't think my parents may not like me dating you, with this situation. So people start acting funny. So you may be like, damn, like, okay, I thought you were my friend. Like, oh, well, you ain't called me in a while. I've been busy. That's traumatic. So all these things may go on, and then the people with the funeral wreaths and the people cutting you out of BTS montage videos because that happened, and people on the internet saying horrible, awful things. That's a lot for one person to deal with. Yes, that's why Namjoon was sitting behind them. Yes, Yugi seems like a sweet person, flawed but sweet. He seems like a pretty low key kind of person. Very low key. But yeah. But anyway, we're going to talk about BTS tour now. We're going to talk about something a little bit more hype. So the BTS tour rumors were out there. Well, not rumor, but yeah, there was kind of like a report, kind of a rumor. Hyde stock shot up 7%. They're saying that BTS is supposed to go on a tour from May to December, and it's supposed to be 65 dates. That is a lot of dates. Again, I know people who have worked with artists on tour. I dated a guy who was a tour person. He was a person that toured with different bands. He did their lighting, he did their stage setup and stuff. And he toured with different bands. I don't know how people do tours. Doing a tour to me, some people love it, some people hate it, some people in the middle, some people hate touring. Some people like touring. I don't know which members of BTS likes it or love it or hate it. I don't know. So y'all tell me which BTS members you think hates touring and which ones you think like doing it. Because touring is a whole different thing mentally, emotionally, physically. It is grueling. People get sick on tour. People get exhausted on tour. People don't know where they're at from day to night. It is exhausting. About it, you ever seen a lot of people whining about it not being enough? Really? That is crazy. Yes, to be honest, I wonder if hype is going to do it because Stray Kids has been on tour for Stray Kids has been on tour for a long time. I think 65 different dates, maybe not 65 cities, but different dates. That is a pretty robust tour. You can see them all hating it at some point. Yeah, that's a lot of shows. Sugar got very sick on his tour. Very, very sick. Girl, I don't want y'all know I watch the D-Day documentary like literally once a week. Like I watch it all the time. I watch the D-Day documentary all the time. And he was sick. Like had to do an IV, like he was coughing, he was like taking steroids. He was coughing, he was sick. JK, I understand JK loves the stage, but touring is different than being on the stage. Yeah, they have to take breaks in between because you'll burn out. Tour burnout is a thing. But to me, 65 dates sounded like a lot. That is a long tour. Yoongi was drinking more than usual as well, was he? Wait a minute, Moonlight. Wait a Do tell, girl. I didn't notice. So Yoongi was drinking way more than usual. Tour is grueling. But yeah, to do on tour for months, like 6, 7 months, Stray Kids been on tour forever. Same thing about ATEEZ. ATEEZ has done back-to-back tours. Back-to-back tours. Was he drinking on stage? Are you serious? I know he was drinking, but I didn't know he was drinking that much. JK was doing the IV drip too while he was going on live. Oh my God. Yeah, it might be their, like, I'm agreeing with Shelling P. I don't know if this is going to be their last tour. Like, this may be their last tour for a couple of years. They may not tour again 2 or 3 years later. He was a drinker, but he was overdoing it. He was drinking a lot. Young was drinking a lot. He was overdoing it. I had that just puts a new spin when I go back and watch these concert videos. I didn't know he was drinking a lot. I did see him drink on stage, but I didn't know he was like drinking like that. Like, Yoongi is a drinker. But most Koreans are though, so I don't know. But I didn't know that. Y'all tell me so much new stuff. He was having a good time. He was having a good time? I guess so. All I know is that he was sick a lot. Like, he was very, very, very sick. Poor thing. Like, you could just tell he was suffering. But he just went through it. Like, you could tell. They'll probably add more tour dates. Most concerts do. Big ones like that. I know. I saw that Yoongi. Oh my God. Let me tell you. There's a video out there. If y'all seen, I'm sure y'all seen it. Where Yoongi and JK are drinking. And they take Irish cream, which is my favorite alcohol, and beer, and you put it in there and it makes it solidify, like it makes it get hard, and then you drink it. I've had that before, and I was wasted. I was so, yeah, the Irish bomb. Girl, I was so fucked up. I was like, I don't even know how people lived through that. First of all, I don't like beer. It's disgusting, but I do like Irish cream. But I did that just because I saw BTS do it last year, and I was like, I'm gonna do this. I did not see JK drinking, but I did see JK's face in that video. He was like, I said, Lord, that's just that even think about it, my stomach hurt. Like, me and alcohol I get drunk very easily, by the way. I get very tipsy easily. Me and alcohol are not friends. Like, we are not friends. Like, there's certain alcohols I can't drink. It makes me vomit real bad. And so I don't drink a lot. You can't, hard liquor is the only thing I can do. Wine gives me a headache. Like, I can't drink a lot of wine. Wine makes me sick. Tequila makes me violently ill. There's some hard liquors I can't drink. I can't drink brandy. I can't drink tequila. I can't drink gin. There's just certain, I can drink vodka. I can drink whiskey. Those are my favorite, whiskey and vodka. Those are my favorites. But them rest of them, I have stomach issues, and so it just messes my stomach up. Yeah, they be drinking their ass off. It's an Irish carver, yeah. I had one of those. I don't like beer. Like, I cannot drink beer. Alcohol and coffee cups, like the time that Tae Young drunk out of RM's coffee cup, and he said, that shit had me going. That had me rolling. He drank out of his cup. They were on a live stream. He said, Tae Young was like, looked so confused. Oh, do you see JK walking around Malta at night? He ended up performing on the street. Yes, I did see that. Yeah, Tae Young was looking. He said, said, baby. I was like, there wasn't no coffee in that cup. Baby, that was some drink. Gin makes you want to fight. Beer is disgusting. Gin makes like I said, all alcohol either give me a headache, make my show. I can't drink champagne either. So no New Year's Eve champagne for me, child. And the thing about it is, I love champagne. Oh my God. I like champagne a lot, but I just can't drink it. Wine, I like wine. I just can't drink too much of it. And I can't drink white wine. It has to be red. I want to try that IGN though, that IGN drink. Yeah, RM did play it off. Yeah, he was trying not to laugh. He was like, the way Kim Tae Young looked, it was like, His eyes got big. He said, "Oh my God." I was like, "Yes." But I'm not a big drinker. I get too ill. Like I get too sick. And then drinking makes me real sleepy. Like I was like, I couldn't come on a live stream and drink because I would be like, "Rah," and then I'll start acting real crazy. Was he going through a lot at that time? Was Namjoon going through a lot at that time? Namjoon seemed like he'd been going through a lot of times. Poor thing. Like, poor thing. But yes, the BTS tour is gonna be live. I will for sure be there. I told Jennifer I don't care what I don't care. I don't care if I gotta beg, borrow, steal. I don't care if I gotta ride the pole, whatever. I'll do whatever I got to do to get this ticket. Mexican candy drink? That sounds like something I like. I like real sweet drinks. Like I like mixed drinks. I'm gonna try that iGin if it comes here in America. I'm gonna try it. Yes, I will ride the pole. I don't care. I don't care whichever pole I gotta ride. Oh, I am not averse to riding all poles. As long as I get paid. I'm like, which pole I gotta ride? Because I'm gonna make it to this concert. I don't care what I gotta do. I don't care what I have to do. I've been saving up my money. Y'all know. Y'all already know. Like, I don't care what I got to do. I will be there at that concert with a veil on. If Jennifer let me, holding up my sign, talking about, you can marry me. You can marry me. Oh, I tell y'all, I might get arrested. Y'all know I'm be ready. I'll be like, okay. I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm saving up my money, but I'm ready for these tickets. I'm ready for this concert. And Jennifer's like, this concert's gonna be crazy. You better get them tickets earlier than Weverse registration. I was like, girl, yes. But that's it with BTS this week. BTS got on my nerve this week because there was just so much stuff to do. And hopefully they'll go dormant for a little bit. Hopefully hopefully JK won't go live. I can't do it. And I need to get something to eat after this live stream. So I'm going to try to work it along. So now we come to the main dish. We come to the main dish. The main dish. We're going to talk about the ADOR versus NewJeans decision. Babe, I was up at night watching and waiting. I was waiting and watching. And honey child, they went to court, ADOR versus NewJeans. For those of you who know, I've done video after video after video about the ADOR NewJeans thing. I have dragged. Oh, my rubber band popped. Oh, yeah. My rubber band just popped. Yes, I have braces and rubber bands. Small ones that break. Child, when they announced that NewJeans lost that case, I was like, standing ovation. I was like, clap, 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 clap. Because I was scared because, they didn't have all these petitions out here. They didn't have all this stuff out there. I was like, it's time. I had like a few shots. You can hear the jaws drop from Korea. Baby, I had a few shots in celebration. I was like, yes, because I could breathe a sigh of relief for now. So the judge came back and the judge had a 45-minute decision. The judge came back and you invested in their demise, so am I. The judge came back and basically took his time and broke it down, every single one of their claims. And he broke it down. The judge was like, Minhee Jin being fired or resigning from ADOR, that's not part of your contract. Minhee Jin working for ADOR, because like NewJeans claimed that one of their demands is that they wanted Minhee Jin back. The judge is like, no, that's not a part of your contract. ADOR is the company that signed you. It doesn't matter if they change staff. It doesn't matter if they change CFO, CEO, creative director, whatever. That had nothing to do with the reason why nothing to do with their contract. It's not in their contract who works there. So number one. Number two, they tried to claim that a so-called branding deal, I think it was with AT&T, was given to LeSseraphim. The judge came back and said, no, no, no. The branding deals is decided by Hive. Like, y'all don't get, there's nothing in their contract saying that they get to pick whatever branding deals and they get to, there's nothing in their contract, nothing breaking their contract saying another group got a brand deal before they did. And then on top of that, it wasn't something they were slighted about. It was just the timing of the situation. Then they talked about LeSseraphim and in the order that they debuted, the judge came back and said, no, no, there were circumstances and situations that they waited to debut NewJeans after LeSseraphim. So that had nothing to do with breaking their contract either. So the judge really just broke it down. All their claims of mistreatment, all their claims of like, oh, this happened and this happened. The judge was like, that ain't got nothing to do with not a damn thing. Okay, nothing to do with nothing. You can't claim mistreatment. You can't claim breach of contract. None of these things that they were talking about is in their contract. None of these things stop them from being a group or a band. None of these things stop them from producing music and fulfilling their obligations of their contract as a group. None of these things. They could have carried on like normally, but they didn't want to. So the judge is like, no, this is all on you. This is not a breach of contract. That basically, the judge was saying also that if we allow this, then pretty much any group that has any disagreements with their label are going to be able to get out of their contract. That's why and the judge says he's pushing them towards mediation. He said, I'd strongly suggest that you, NewJeans, mediate, that you work the things out with ADOR. That's your best bet. Because you don't really have a claim. Well, he didn't say that part, but basically he was telling them, he's pushing them towards working things out with ADOR. They didn't want to hear that. So they're going to file an appeal. So they're going to be back in court again for yet another year. Their contract is valid to 2029. If they violate their contract, they're going to get fined $750,000 per incident per group member. They have to pay ADOR's legal fees. Minnie Jin, by the way, like I said last week, she opening up a new studio. She opening up she got a deal and a financial backer and opening up a new agency. Like I said before, NewJeans was just a pawn in a game for Minnie Jin. Yep, they still getting paid, but the money eventually is going to dry up. They're still getting paid their part of it, but they haven't produced no new music. They're not doing any promotions. They don't have any brand deals. NewJeans, in essence, ruined their own career. They are finished. They are done. It's like Mortal Kombat. Finish them. They're done. Anybody would be stupid to work with Minnie Jin. That's what I said last week. You would be dumb to work with this lady. I wouldn't trust Minnie Jin business-wise. I wouldn't trust Minnie Jin, any group that she produces or creative directs for or whatever. I wouldn't trust it. I wouldn't have my kids sign up for trainees. But again, there's gonna be some desperate parents, some desperate young people, and they're gonna sign up to her agency as trainees. She'll get people. It may not be high quality trainees, but you're going to get desperate trainees and desperate people who are going to sign up for her agency. She's going to promise them this and promise them that, and they are going to be desperate, and they may have failed at other agencies, and they are going to sign up. Now, as to how far a group of hers could go within the industry, I don't know what kind of pull Minnie Jin has in the industry, because it's obvious to me she has some sort of pull in the industry. I don't know what Minnie Jin has on other people, but apparently something somewhere. But yes. But yeah, I mean, so she goes to her life, and then NewJeans is like the collateral damage. They are not going to have a career, y'all. They're just not. They're not. You would be surprised if Minnie Jin is in it, y'all. I told you she in that shaman shit deep. Yeah, she just walked away like, well, girl, see you later. And then the parents are sitting there looking dumb. The girls, they can't go and produce no more music. They can't get another branding deal. They can't do nothing. They've been stuck in limbo for over a year now. So they're gonna be stuck in limbo again for another year. Then they can come back and file another appeal. So this may not end until 2029 or 2027. Then what? They got 2 years left, and then what they gonna do? They don't have enough money to break their contract and try to do anything. But again, as time goes on, nobody cares about NewJeans. The regular people, regular people in Korea that I asked that are not K-pop stans are all, they feel like NewJeans got what they deserve. They feel like they should just go back and be humble. A lot of the Koreans are saying, who are not into K-pop, saying they should go back and be humble. The shelf life in Korea is very short, Cam, especially for a girl group. You got about a good 4 or 5 years. And yeah, she could care less. Because Minnie Jin she can do her thing. She not in a contract. She can go do her thing. And so the parents look dumb. Everybody in this situation is dumb. I'm sorry. The parents who believed her, everybody, the stupid fans, y'all will look dumb. LE SSERAFIM and ILLIT are gonna be okay. BTS is gonna be good. HYBE is gonna be good. Their stock is going up. What are y'all doing, NewJeans? Oh, y'all sitting your asses at the house? Oh, okay. Oh, y'all sitting at your parents' house? You better go get a job at the cafe, honey. Danielle, cafe hiring. Lot World is hiring. Y'all finna go back home? Y'all can't. What is the point of them staying in Korea for what? Why would they stay in Korea? They need to go back home where they came from. Y'all need to go back home now. Girl groups replaced look at Zero Base. What happened to Zero Base 1? But what are they gonna do for money? They sitting around. Marie Miller talking about you want fries with that. That's what they gonna be doing. They gonna be working at that cafe talking about you want that mocha latte or want the caramel one? Wait a minute, ain't you the girl from NewJeans? Yeah. I mean, what else are they gonna do? Like I said, when the money dry up, people start acting funny. My prediction in my heart of hearts, I think at least one member of the group is going to crack. I'm telling y'all, that is my prediction. I'm saying it right now. I feel at least one of the members of this group is going to crack. That their parents are looking at their money situation and the money is drying up and they understand that their daughters only had that much time left. Your daughters are not getting no education. They don't have a career. What else is there for them? Y'all better go back to school or something. Y'all better go back to college, go work at that cafe or McDonald's. I don't know that you better go work at that BB.Q chicken, something. What else are they gonna do? You at least try to get an education. At least go back to school. Cause y'all not gonna have a career, and then you're not gonna have no education, and you ain't gonna have no money. Again, money make people funny. But they can appeal all day, and they're not going to win the appeal either. And again, how long are they going to sit at home with no money? How long? Before at least one of them realizes, I think I made a mistake. I think we made a mistake. Like, maybe we should go back. You know. The contract didn't renew. Yeah, they're still young enough to go to school. They better have all I gotta say, they better have a backup plan. They did, they got played spectacularly. I mean, they got effed big time. I'm like, at least take me out to dinner. I mean, no, they just got screwed. No dinner, no soft words, no wine. I don't know how this woman was able to brainwash them with whatever. Again, the only thing I can think of is a shaman. I keep bringing up the shamanism, y'all. Shamanism is an MF for y'all. But these young ladies have ruined their careers. They've ruined their careers. I mean, that's just, there's nothing else for anybody to say. All these fans allegedly, which again, I tell y'all, all these fans out there, all these fan groups for bunnies and NewJeans, I told y'all I researched it backwards and forwards for a whole month. And I went on different websites and different social medias, and I wandered into different social circles on Twitter. And it's not all these people. Some of these people just hate Hive, and they're just haters. They're BTS haters. They're Blinks. They're fans of other groups like Luna and Everglow fans who they're bitter about that, and they just hopped on the NewJeans bunny train. So some of these people are not even NewJeans fans. Yeah, the shaman situation is MF. I tell you, it's deep. I did that video about shamanism. It's deep. And I think Minnie Jin is a true believer. I think she's a true believer. But to mess up your career when knowing the K-pop industry is very hard, especially for girl groups, it's very hard. Hello, Lee Felix. It's very hard. And like I said, I don't know whether to feel sorry for them or not. I mean, I kind of don't, because I'm like, but then again, I don't know how much their parents had a hand in this, because the parents had a hand in this as well. So again, I don't know how much this is the girls doing or this is the parents who are pushing them towards this. But this is not going to end well. I said it before a year ago. I said this is not going to end well, and it's not ending well. So they appealing, but you know, the parents in their pride or something. Or I don't know, maybe the parents, I've said it before, maybe the parents is into the shaman shit too. I said, we don't know anything much about the parents. The parents could be believing this shit too. The parents could be sitting there butchering a pig on the weekends. She said they did Ice Queen. They was up there doing them interviews and them YouTube channel lives. And they was up there interviewing with magazines, and they was up there just they was just talking all kinds of noise. We're being mistreated. Okay. Yeah, they was up there talking too much ish. But like I said, we don't know what the parents believe. Yeah, they FAFO, they effed around, they found out. Like I said over and over again, I don't know what these parents believe. They may be into this shaman shit too, y'all. I told y'all. I said Minnie Jin is a true believer. She thinks she has power. I'm telling you. Like, knowing the stuff that I've read about her and started finding, I was like, she has power. She thinks she has power. Like supernatural power. She thinks that she didn't devoted enough time and energy and sacrifices to this shaman shit. And she's done all the rituals and she's butchered the pigs and all of that. So she's into this. She into this stuff big time. Yeah, she a little cuckoo, you know, she getting the spirit of her dead sister and all. Girl, when I heard that, I was done with it. I was like, now she got the spirit of her dead sister, trying to put the spirit of her dead sister into a trainee. I was like, girl, go on. You know, she all into that. She all into that. The talismans, the rituals, all of that. She didn't pay millions of dollars to this shaman. Millions of dollars. Yes, she was trying to get the spirit of her dead sister into a training. Look. She really into that, Lee Felix. But she's not the only one. There's a lot of elites in South Korea that are into this. That are really into this shaman stuff. And they use it to make business decisions. And then when you read the cacao messages, she was asking the shaman how many girls should be in the group. She was asking the shaman when should they debut. She was asking the shaman everything. Like everything. I'm like, damn, I told you I'm surprised the shaman wasn't deciding what hairdos to have and what clothes to wear. She was literally asking the shaman which trainees she should pick from. And the shaman was like, pick this one, not that one. That one got a bad energy. That one's good. Are you serious? You mean the shaman over here picking the group? Why didn't she just get the lottery? They believe in that too. That's part of it too. The shaman was over here picking the group, y'all. Picking which girls. That one got a bad energy. So some poor girl out there got eliminated because the shaman said she quote unquote had bad energy. Girl. I'll tell you, I'm surprised the shaman wasn't picking hair and outfits. Should we get the straight across bang, the swoop bang? Should it be a perm? Is it a wavy perm? Is it straight? Should they dye their hair? No. I mean, she was asking the shaman everything. Like, when should they debut? What day? What time? You gotta align it with the spirits. And girl, I'm like, girl, what? I'm like, oh, she really into this. I was like, oh, I see. I said, that's why she was doing a lot of the things that she was doing. She was really that arrogant. Yeah, I said, the girl that getting chosen by the shaman, she was like, run, girl, run. Like, she was in this for real. When I started reading those cacao messages, I was like, ooh, she really into this. She is really into this. Asking the shaman, well, if I do this business deal, is this going to be in my favor? And the shaman's like, yes. Well, you need to do this and do this. The shaman's over making business deals for her. I was like, oh, she into this, baby. She was living this lifestyle. She was about that shaman life. She was really into that. And I think that, like, she's probably been into it for a long time and has success in the business. And I'm sure she attests the success in the business to the shaman, to what the rituals, what she has done and sacrificed throughout the years. And this did not sound like something she was a new or a novice at. This sounds like something she had been doing for a long time and thought heavily about and was deep into it. And the way the shaman was talking to her, you could see that this was a normal conversation between them. That she's probably hitting the shaman up all the time, asking what agency, where the building should be, all this stuff. All this stuff was probably designated by the shaman. Yes, Lee Felix, she thought she had all the power. That's why everything about Minhee Jin, y'all are like, it don't make no sense. It won't make no sense because you're not in that mindset. She thinks she has power over people, over events, over things. She thinks she's powerful. So she thinks she can get away with anything because the gods are going to be in her favor. I wonder where that same shaman is. I don't know, probably working for her. That shaman was making millions. She's paying the shaman, I think they said like $2 million a year. That shaman sold her Jedi mind tricks. Yeah, like nothing makes sense. And then you were like, oh, the shaman. Oh, okay. Then you're like, oh, now it makes sense. Because none of this made any sense to me. I was like, there has to be a reason why this woman is doing all that. And then I was like, oh, she a true believer. Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense. Because people who believe in this stuff really, really believe this stuff. And they think they can get away with anything. Corruption, embezzling. They think they can manipulate people. They think they can mind trick people. And Minhee Jin, let me tell y'all something. Allegedly, y'all take this with a grain of salt. Minhee Jin got a mouthpiece on her. Like, I heard Minhee Jin is one of these people that can talk anybody into anything. She is very smart. She's calculating. She's smart. She's conniving. It's pretty admirable. She's talented being a creative director of what she did. I never take that away from her. But from what I heard about people from what I heard on the grapevine, from people in the industry, Minhee Jin got a mouthpiece on her that she knows how to talk to people. She knows how to. She's one of these people, I heard allegedly, that will, to your face, she'll be all nice to you, but then behind your back, she'll dog cuss you. You seen some of that in them cacao messages. How she was all nice to the girls and their parents, and behind their back, she was just dog walking them, calling them bitches, little bitches, and saying, oh, if one of them look at me wrong, I'm gonna kill her. I'm gonna kill that bitch. That's the type of person she is. So to your face, she like, oh, hey, you're doing so great, and y'all are so wonderful, and I'm like your mother, and oh my God, like we're all in this big fan. And then behind the back, she was dog cussing them. But the people said, from what I heard allegedly, that's her. That she'll be all nice to you, and then she'll stab you in the back. Then you find out that she talking bad, talking reckless about you to other people. That you think this person likes you, and they really don't. They just using you. And then when she can't use you anymore, she done with you. And that's kind of like from what I heard allegedly from people that she worked with at SM, that she kind of had that reputation of being that kind of person. Just that's just conniving, you know. And like we all know people like that, you know. But they said she real good at it though. You believe that she's delulu and manipulative? Yeah. And I heard Minnie Jen know how to talk to people. Yeah. That she one of them people that just know how to talk. They had you thinking that she like you and she behind you, and baby, she be in the boardroom. Once you leave that room, be telling people how unprofessional you are and you're not a good worker and you complain too much. But then to your face, you're the best worker ever. Yeah, she did the same thing. Who knows what she said about Kim Tae? I don't know. But I've heard that she said certain things. Yeah, I don't know what, but people like, oh yeah. I've people like, yeah, most likely she probably did. As to what she said, I don't know if we'll ever know that. But it may come out eventually. I feel like it will come out eventually if they let the further cacao messages be released. But I think they said that she the top person. She just talks shit about everybody behind their back, so it wouldn't be surprised. That's just the kind of person she is. And again, Asian Entertainment. If you don't watch her channel, she talked about the ADOR case and everything like that. And she brought up some good points. Again, I've always said I do not agree with how Hybe handled this whole situation with Minhee Jin and NewJeans. I don't agree with how Hybe has handled the publicity situation. Hybe let Minhee Jin out finesse them, out publicity them, knowing damn well that your reputation can affect your stock prices in Korea. They let Minhee Jin outmaneuver them time after time after time again. Hybe was left with egg on their faces. Hybe embarrassed themselves. And I hope, and it has to do with the structure of the company. It has to do, I mean, there are internal things in Hybe that I do not agree with the way they've handled this whole situation with NewJeans. They let NewJeans and Minhee Jin dog walk them and Le Sserafim and Illit that were collateral damage in all of this. There is no way that Illit and Le Sserafim should have been drugged like that on the internet. They let Minhee Jin and NewJeans dog walk their asses on the internet. And they let them dog them out and mentally affected these young ladies. And it should have never happened. Hybe should have been on the defensive and the offensive at the same time. And they should have never let what happened to Illit and Le Sserafim. That should have never went that far. This went on for months and months and months and months and months. Yeah, they should have did something. They should have stepped in early and been like, this got to stop. And there are internal things and structural things in Hybe that I do not agree with how they do things. And PR is the biggest thing that I draw a line in the sand. There is some mismanagement and some bullshit going on there. And they still got them people that Minhee Jin brought. They still working in Hybe. And I still feel with my whole entire chest that there are people working inside Hybe that are undermining the fucking company. I don't care what anybody say. People try to tap dance around it. I've looked this thing sideways, back and forth and research, and there is something going on. There is something in this company that they need to get rid of people because they are people inside the company, I feel, that are undermining Hybe from the inside. And again, with Minhee Jin, I don't know. I don't know if this woman purposely went to work for Hybe, knowing what she was going to do. There's some evidence out there that this was her plan all along. Because even before Hybe did that tried to do an audit, there was stuff going on, rumors going on. There's cacao messages were in February where she was talking with the person underneath her at ADOR about taking the company over. This is in February. These are the cacao messages in February. We don't know what happened before February. Before February of 2024, we don't know who she talked to or what was set up. We just don't know. If they didn't learn, they better learn quickly, you know. Yes, I bet, yes, she was targeting him. Yes, Lee Felix. I think she was looking for a company to go work at to try to take over a company. And Hybe had the perfect situation with wanting her to become CEO of ADOR and all that. I think this was her plan in the beginning. Yeah, the judge said, yes, she planned it. Bye, Artist Dudley. Bye-bye. Yes, the judge said that she planned it a long time ago. I think this has been her plan since the beginning. And again, She came along with Hive and she brought people with her that she knew, former SM employees and other people that still work there. And I tell people, these people still work there. I say it over and over again. These people still work there. Some of these people resigned and quit. Some of these people still work there. I think Hive was infiltrated from the inside, not by just Minnie, Jen, and her shit, but perhaps other people who are trying to do things on the inside to weaken Hive. Like, I honestly believe that, and I'm not one to fall into conspiracy theories and all that. But the more I start looking at this, I'm like, I think people work there trying to do bad things to them. I'm like, I think people, and I don't know the motivation for some of the people working there. Hello, Zora. Yeah, I don't know what the Hive. Yes, Kim, Hive expecting people to be nice, but I think there are people working there who may be paid off or to try to erode them from the inside. And again, last year somebody brought this up, and I'm like, yeah, you're crazy. Now with everything that's happened to Hive, now I'm kind of like, okay, it's like this is plausible. And again, I'm not one for conspiracy, but everything kind of points to, I'm just like, all this stuff just keeps happening with Bond PD and the IPO and all. And I'm just like, okay, so, before I was like, but then all these things started coming out. Then the shit with Jimin and all of that, I'm just like, then the whole W Korea thing again, y'all. I am suspicious of the whole the W Korea thing, I'm just sitting there like, so why are y'all complaining now? Why would y'all I'm suspicious of all of it. I think that there are certain things that have happened in the media, outside of media, that I'm just like, okay, why did these things keep happening? So let's talk about the J-Hope thing. Okay. So I'm not on social media. The J-Hope thing. So J-Hope did a collaboration with LeSeraphim for Spaghetti. The moment this song came out, I had people sending me screenshots or like, girl, do you see what's going on social media? I said, what do you mean? I'm not on social media. And so I posted the screenshot where Jennifer was online and she's on social media. And she's like, girl, what are they talking about? I was like, girl, I was flabbergasted. So I was like, what? And she was like, this is what they're saying about the Spaghetti song. Then Jennifer went to another site and they were dragging J-Hope, saying that he brought the song down. Girl, I was like, what is this? So I was like, so we just gonna drag BTS every time? Okay. Y'all, yes. People were dragging the song Spaghetti. People were blaming J-Hope for the song not doing well. Yes. People were on social. They were dragging the song. People, I posted in my post on my channel a couple of days ago, or a screenshot, or online in a K-pop site. They were online on a K-pop Twitter site. There's a big K-pop one where people were saying that the J-Hope's verse in particular, like, this song is not going to be friendly to people who have eating disorders and encourages people to overeat. Yes. A song that has a bunch of metaphors about eating and chocolate. People are like, well, this sets up an unhealthy image of eating. I'm like, this has to be a joke. I feel like I'm in some sort of bizarro world. This has to be a joke. No, it wasn't a joke. People were really talking about that. Like, we're not going to support the song because he's talking about, you be my chocolate Hershey or something like that. And this supports overeating. Yes, I'm very serious. I posted a screenshot in my post, and I told y'all that's why I don't get on social media, because this is yes, people were offended about the Hershey, about saying that it can encourage people who have eating disorders. I was like, I just can't. And I was having a bad day, and I was like, I just can't. Yes, some people claim the song wasn't doing well on the Melon charts. They were saying that, and they were blaming J-Hope. I don't understand how J-Hope got blamed. If anything, J-Hope helped enhance the song. Like, what do y'all talk? Child, so again, whenever some stuff like this hit, I'm like, really? I give a side eye, because I'm like, everything that BTS do, and Jennifer's like, I can't believe this. She's like, damn, people just be going in on BTS for no reason. I told Jennifer, I said, see, now you know what I'm talking about. Yes, they were blaming J-Hope. Even though we all know J-Hope make that song. He killed his part and he made the song better. That was the only redeemable part. I didn't like the song. But yes, this is the things that I look at with a side eye. That every time, and then people are online trying to boycott BTS and saying that they weren't giving enough money to charity. Like this is the chicanery that I'm just like, is this planned? Is this black propaganda? Like this is the type of stuff I throw side eye at, because it just seems planted. It just seems like this is a setup. You know what I'm saying? So it seems like it's a setup to me. It does. It deserves a whole side eye. That's why I don't get on social media for nothing. I don't do social media. I make my TikTok videos and everything is restricted and I roll on out. And that's the only thing I use TikTok for. I'm not on X. I'm not on Instagram. I'm not on none of these things. I'm not on Facebook. I don't do social media. So that's one of the reasons why. It's just like people are just like making up things to go in on BTS about rep because they know they have a comeback. And I told your armies, I said, if this decision does not bode well for NewJeans and the Dora situation, don't. I said, y'all gonna see it. I said, I keep telling y'all over and again. I said, just wait for it. I said, baby mama's gonna come out the woodwork. Y'all were laughing at me, talking about, oh no, not the baby mama. I said, yes, the baby mama. I said, I wouldn't be surprised if somebody's gonna claim that they got some BTS members' love child. I don't be surprised somebody gonna say that some BTS member, they were at a party and somebody touched their booty. I'm telling you, something strange is going to come out. And they're just going to keep pushing it. I don't know if they're going to go back 5, 6, 7 years ago. You know, Jimmy touched my boob or something by accident. Just something crazy. Like, I just be like, really? I feel like if with this decision with ADOR and NewJeans didn't go favorably, I just think that they're going to try to push it. And people are just going to start coming out the woodworks, either making up things or spreading crazy rumors. Yes. J-Hope touched my booty. Yes. Yes. I mean, yeah, it's just, you know, the closer we get to the album, I just feel like, you know, it's just, they're going to throw everything at BTS. I feel like also with BTS, there's going to be solo projects that are going to be coming out before then. Y'all wait for it. I'm just saying, allegedly. Allegedly, there will be solo mini albums or songs or something coming out. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe let me put my hood on. Maybe you didn't hear from me. Wait a minute. Wait. Is this a feather? This is a feather. It's a purple feather. You see that? Y'all see it's a purple feather. But yeah, they'll say anything to blame BTS. I have heard. I had to put my head up. I had to put my hood up because I heard that yes, there's going to be a solo something or other coming out soon, possibly December. But y'all didn't hear it from me. Y'all didn't hear it from me. Y'all were like, I don't know who I heard that from, but yes, I hear that there's going to be, you know, another season of Are You Sure? Are You Sure? Yeah. I didn't watch the first season. And then Lee Felix gave me the kiki. Yes, there's going to be allegedly some things coming out. As closer we get, there's going to be possible solo projects coming out, solo songs, solo projects and stuff like that. So, yeah, I have not seen Are You Sure? Is it good? I need to watch it. Yoongi's girlfriend, Kitty. Yes, it's true. I'm married to Kim Namjoon. We decided not to hide it anymore. Okay, so that's the girl. Congratulations. I hope Namjoon finds happiness. But yes, so I just feel like, we're gonna see more and more as we get towards from BTS and from the haters. Like, so y'all get ready for it. I'm not, like I said, nothing shocks me anymore. I just be sitting there like, okay, all right, yeah, here we go. So nothing shocks me anymore. So just get ready for it. So that's all I have to say about Hive. Y'all support Cordis. I think Cordis is out there doing things. I don't know how that spaghetti song is done. I heard like on the Korean charts. I watch KVL all the time. I watch the Korean charts, and it has not done very well. I should watch AYS. It's a good time for. Okay, I have to watch them. Add it to my list. And I just hear that like Spaghetti wasn't really doing that good. And I like La Seraphim again. I don't particularly like that song. Hopefully they'll come out with something a little bit different. TXT just came out with an album. Y'all support TXT. Y'all know those are my boys. So that's it. In K-pop, speaking of litigation. So EXO members, CBX, that's their name. There's 3 of them, sued SM. They are claiming that, okay, first of all, EXO is a K-pop group, like one of the biggest boy K-pop groups for SM Entertainment. So if you didn't know, I went to go see Kai's concert. Again, I talk about it all the time. I went to go see Kai's concert. I have video on my vlogs. I have video of the Kai concert, pretty much almost the whole entire concert. It got demonetized, but I just let it stay up there because I wanted y'all to show what the concert was like. And I complained about it before, that the concert, that SM Entertainment did not put no money in this concert. And I felt bad for Kai, even though he did really good. Good job. So Kai is part of EXO. So he went on a North American tour, Kai did, in smaller venues. And it was good. He was very professional. He got there and performed very good. So EXO, they've been in the military. Kai got out the military this year. There's other ones in the military. So there's 3 members of EXO that have sued. Okay. They have sued SM. This lawsuit's been going on for quite a while. I found out about this lawsuit literally about 2-3 weeks ago. I didn't know this lawsuit was going on for a group as big as EXO. You would think that this lawsuit would be everywhere. But once again, SM Entertainment. SM Entertainment, y'all. So they had a decision this week where the judge ruled in favor of SM Entertainment because these 3 members of EXO is claiming that they did not receive proper royalties. So this is basically over money. It's not over treatment or anything like that. It's over money and stuff like that. So EXO is having a comeback. They're coming out with an album next year. And allegedly, I heard that they're actually going to be going on tour sometime late next year or something like that. But they're coming out. They're going to start doing promotions in February. In February, they're going to start doing promotion. Apparently, these dudes are not going to be part of the promotions. Oh, you have to go buy Lee Felix. I thank you. Goodbye. Good night. I see. Ice Queen said, "Oh, Kim, are you saying good night? Or are you going good night too, Kim? Everybody, good night. Everybody who going good night, night. Yeah, y'all go get some rest. I don't know what time it is here. I think it's like, I don't think it's 10 o'clock yet. I don't think it's 10 o'clock yet. He just did thirst tweets. Who did thirst tweets? Wait a minute, who doing thirst tweets? Y'all tell me who's doing thirst. But anyway, so EXO, it has a comeback. Well, SM came out and said that these 3 members, they're not going to be part of the comeback. The new album or the damn comeback. Kim was just saying good night to Lee Phoenix. Okay. So, yeah, I want to know who was doing thirst tweets. Oh, Kai was doing thirst tweets. Yeah, so okay. Well, Kai, he's a handsome man. Yeah, but they left them out of everything. So they not being in promotions. They're not gonna be on the album, bitch. They're not gonna be on the tour. They was like, this is your punishment for trying to sue us. And again, these 3 are part of another agency. Supposedly are represented by another agency, like for their solo work, I guess. So SM came back and said, and on top of that, y'all owe us 10% of y'all solo activity. So SM is like, bitch better have my money. Like, number 1, you didn't win this court case. And number 2, you owe us 10% each for y'all solo activities. We want our money. So SM did flip the script on them, honey. SM is like, we want our money. You are not going to be part of this tour or this album or any promotions or anything else. So basically, SM is freezing them out. Yeah. So SM is freezing them out. So SM, the judge favored SM. SM said, we don't owe you no money. Actually, no, honey. You owe us money. We want our 10%. So they said, SM said they owed them 10%. So And those, ATP said so. Those members are probably not some of the popular ones. Yeah, it's not like popular ones, but still, though, it's not Kai. SM don't care. SM is ready to cut them loose. SM don't care. SM just don't want to pay them no money, and they pretty much ready to cut them loose. Like they're like, you're more trouble than what you're worth. We didn't even want you in the damn group anyway. So and from what I learned, somebody told me that SM used to have like 12 members, and now it's down to like 6. I said, dang. But I do believe that SM would stiff them for their money. From what I seen with Kai's concert, and I went and did a little research to see what was going on. Yeah, I can see SM kind of has a reputation for stiffing their artists for a long time. This has been SM's reputation for a long time, and not just their artists, but their staff as well, y'all. But y'all didn't hear that from me. But yes, allegedly, SM don't pay their contract workers. They got in trouble 5 or 6 years ago for taxes and not paying their contract workers salaries. Like that, there was some dust up. I don't know. I haven't researched it, but I heard that SM Entertainment got in trouble like 5 or 6 years ago, sometime around then, for taxes with the government and also not paying their contract workers on time, or not paying or delaying their payments for long periods of time. And that's like a big no-no. I like, yeah, SM, pay your bills. Like, and I understand SM has been going through some hard times financially in the past couple of years. Like, a lot of their groups are not hitting in Korea like they used to hit. Then EXO went on the military hiatus and all that. So their money been coming up short. But that's still no excuse to treat your talent that way. But yeah, SM won. And again, I don't see any judge, barring some kind of weird situation, any judge going into the favor of an idol or idol group, because they understand what's at stake. If you start letting groups out of their contracts and filing these lawsuits, then you just open the floodgates. You will change the face of the industry forever. And again, some people don't think about that. I'm like, but you affecting the young people who come into the business. And I'm not saying that the contracts are right or they're in the up and up, but if you don't have a contract system, the Korean music industry will be like America, where you'll have one-hit wonders and nobody's going to invest 14, 5, 10, $15 million in a group if they know that they can easily get out of their contract. Then K-pop companies will stop investing in these groups. They will invest maybe just enough to get them out there, and then we'll go by a per album basis. They will not invest like they have. The only reason that the K-pop agencies invest so much money up front is because they expect to recuperate and make a profit off of them as the group gains more traction. That's why they keep them like in 7, 8, 9-year contracts. But if you don't have the contract system in Korea, then you're just going to have one-hit wonders. You're just going to have companies are not going to invest in these groups. They're going to pay, like, invest for 1 or 2 albums. And then once their popularity diminishes, they're going to be like, okay, it's too much for your upkeep. They're not going to have dorms. They're not going to have a robust training system. All of that costs money. If they can't put these people in contracts, they're just not going to have a trainee system. All of that is going to go away. Because all of that, the trainees, the dorms, all of that, the trips, all of that is an investment. And it comes out of the money that they make. And then the longer the groups are around and the more success they have, then that's when the agency really starts to make money, and then the idols in turn make money. But the first 2, 3 years, they don't really make a lot of money, y'all. The idols don't really make a lot of money. Not unless you're a really high profile group like NewJeans were making good money because they had brand deals and stuff like that. But for a lot of these smaller agencies, they just won't invest. They don't have the money. Yeah. Yes, Moonlight. Yes. Chin, Baekhyun, and Jumin. Yeah. Y'all don't talk about Blackpink. Y'all be going in on Blackpink. Jennifer still be going in on Blackpink. It's like if you can't invest, in your group, they gotta make money. If you don't have a contract system, again, it'll become like the American music. Which again, I don't have an issue with that. I don't really have a problem with that. But my point is, it'll change K-pop the way we see it, the way we know it. And I don't think K-pop fans, for the most part, wants that. I could care less. I would be like, okay, abolish all the contracts, and we'll see how quickly the K-pop industry will nosedive. But again, in my mind, BTS is gonna be fine. Stray Kids is gonna be fine. AT is gonna be good. So I'm just like, I don't give a damn about the rest of y'all. Like, Whatever else y'all doing, Blackpink, y'all good? No, y'all not gonna be good. Cause Blackpink gonna run and try to get out their damn contract. Just let some contract shenanigans go down. Blackpink is like, well, ladies, let's go. We're following suit next. We're out of here. You know. You had to explain all this to your nail person. Yeah. If you want to change the music industry to where it's like American music industry in Korea, go right ahead. But it won't be like it is now. You won't have groups around 4 and 5 years. You'll have groups around 1 or 2 years. Just like here in America. You have singers around 1 or 2 years and then they're gone. When EXO finally came out, it was wild as fuck. Same for Blackpink. The companies used to do really good in promoting rookie groups before they even dropped. Yeah, it takes an investment. Now, SM, I don't know if SM really got that money like that, you know. Well, aespa, yeah. That was the last group that was hyped. Was aespa, SM. Yeah, but that was when Daddy Isuman was there too. That was his pet project, I think, aespa. I still got to watch the documentary about Isuman that's on Netflix. I still have not watched that. Um, I really need. I'm gonna try to. I'll probably watch that tonight or tomorrow. Um, but yeah, Isuman, that aespa was his pet project. And he was into heavily investing in his artists. But I don't know when Nephew took over. Y'all know SM Entertainment, the lead, his name is Nephew. When Nephew took over, baby, Nephew took over, that was a wrap. Nephew was like, you know, because Nephew, he been trying to sell SM to Hyde, to Cacao. Like I said, within the next couple of years, I predicted SM, they're going to find other investors. And I predict that Nephew is going to sell SM Entertainment to somebody, or it's going to fold into something else. And all the fucking people working there know it, y'all. Like, I'm going to tell y'all that right now. Everybody that work at SM, they all know it. That SM money is coming up short. And they know that SM, yes, Nephew, yes, SM is crashing out. That SM wants to be sold. That's why they're not putting anything into their artists. That's why they're not putting in a tour. That's why they're trying to rush EXO to get an album because they need revenue. Yeah, Nephew trying to sell SM. He was trying to sell SM to everybody. Hyde, Cacao, and the Cacao got in trouble. And Hyde sold their shares. So again, they're going to find some sort of investor or buyer for SM. And that's going to change SM as we know it. Because we don't know, depending on who he's selling to, they may mismanage the company. They may not invest a lot of time into it. It may be to them just another cash cow or a tax shelter or whatever. Because, you know, when you sell companies, you can't, you know, depends on who they sell it to. If they sell it to a company that's not a K-pop agency, you don't know what they're going to do with. And these artists and these people who work at SM understand that, you know. And then Isuman is trying to start his own company because, you know, he still wants to try to do stuff with his old self. But, you know, Isuman, Daddy SM is trying to do his thing. Or I should say Granddaddy SM is trying to do his thing because Nephew didn't mess it all up. Nephew messed it all up. So Nephew didn't mess up SM. And again, to see what happened to SM is kind of sad. Like, to be such the first in the business, to see how far that they've fallen. And they still have good groups, but just, you know, they just don't have the money like they used to. They're holding on to the money, the greed of it all. Yeah, because I'm like, I don't think Nephew really cares. I don't think he just wants to sell the company big, make his money, get his stock options, and then just ride off into the sunset and either retire or go work for another company or start his own business that he really wanted to start. I don't think Nephew wants to be in the K-pop industry, has a passion for the K-pop industry. I think he's just there because it's a business and he can run it, and he took it, and that's it. I don't think he really has a passion for the business or love of the business. JYP loved the business. Bang PD loved the business. Even Isuman believed and loved the business. He liked the business. He believed in it. Even Daddy YG believes in it too. But Nephew don't care. I don't think Nephew don't care. Nephew needs a whooping. He didn't mess up the whole company. He's messed it up. Nephew is shady as fuck too. I could do a whole video about Nephew. Nephew is shady. dealing with some real shady people, I heard. The things that he's done is just, I feel bad for the people that work at SM and the things that they have experienced, but they all know that like it's dead man walking. That eventually the company will be taken over by somebody or sold by somebody. Because I don't think nephew. I think nephew's just there to make his money, and he don't really care about shit too much. Because again, you can tell they don't put a lot of effort into their talent. They don't put a lot of effort in their training system. They don't put a lot of effort to coming out with new groups. They don't put a lot of effort in trying to expand internationally beyond Korea. SM gave up all of that years ago. After aespa debuted, they was done. aespa's been mismanaged. They should be a lot bigger than what they are. They should be a global group, and they're not. And that's because they're talented ladies. They've been mismanaged. They have not been given the resources and the push that they should have. They should have more brand deals. They should have more music coming out. They should have more tours. SM just don't seem to invest money in that. I feel for Kai, yes. Yeah, he's done well. Yeah. And he's a talented guy. Yeah, I do. I feel sad for their groups because they should be so much more. aespa should be an international group. They should be out there with Blackpink and all. They should be out there. They should be touring North America and doing tour. Because SM said that they want to concentrate just on the Asian market and not worldwide. Okay, because if you concentrate worldwide, it takes investment, it takes money. Hybe has put a lot of money in expanding their operations, a lot, and it pays off eventually, but it's a slow, gradual thing. SM don't have that kind of money, don't have that kind of capital. So yeah, it's pretty sad for the groups, but eventually they'll get bought out. Probably within the next couple of years, you'll probably see it. So I think that's it all in the music industry. So we get on to Korea. And then we're going to talk about some gossip. So first thing I'd like to say, I posted a short about South Korea. EXO's been pinned against BTS, yes. They were. I saw that. They were pinned against each other, even though they know each other too. Like some of the members of EXO, they cool with some of the members of BTS. It's kind of weird. But let me talk about in Korea. So Korea right now is a cold snap. Just in case y'all know, it's the temperatures dropped a lot in Korea. Like it's one of the coldest snaps that they've had. Also, I posted a Korean short talking about one of the dangerous things about being in Korea. Talking about dating men in Korea. Some of y'all saw that short. What people don't really talk about. Korea is a very safe city. It's a very clean city. I mean, Seoul, South Korea. Korea, period, is a very safe place. One of the safest places on earth to live. It's low crime. There's cameras everywhere all over South Korea. So they're like, don't try it because there's cameras everywhere. It's one of the most monitored cities on the planet. It has state-of-the-art like monitoring and facial recognition technology that people really don't talk about a lot. But when you go to Korea, a lot of things people don't talk about is the dating culture there. And I talk frequently about the dating culture because I'm trying to get you guys to see how this passes on to the idols. I'm trying to get y'all to see. Marie Miller watched the video and she commented on it. Because this video came up in my recommends and I said, oh, what's this? Because sometimes I get silly stuff about Korea. But I watched the video and I was like, I got to repost this. I was like, aha. Because it talks about how the one night stand hookup culture, it briefly talks about that, there's a lot of one night stands, and it talks about how Korean men don't wear protection, that they don't really like to wear protection, not to stereotype all men, but for the most part, yes. And I said it in my comments that one of the things that people don't talk about in K-pop is STDs. There is quite a few of K-pop singers who've experienced various degrees of STDs. And it doesn't get talked about because it's like kind of like this hidden shame thing. But I said because Korea has again, I've said it before, a huge hookup culture. People talk about how conservative Korea is, and they're thinking about Korea in the vein of K-pop. Beyond K-pop, Korea is not that conservative. Korea is just like any other place when you're dealing with young people. They go out, they party, they drink, they have one night stands and hookups. In South Korea, if a guy's chatting you up at a club or a bar, y'all meet or whatever, it's implied that if he's chatting you up and he's talking to you, he's interested. And then it's implied that if he takes you back to, he's chatting you up because he is looking to have some sort of intimate thing with you just that night. That is not an invitation to, oh, we're going to keep talking. that it's implied, and a lot of foreigners don't realize that it's like a one night stand. There are a lot of one. I said South Korea is a very prolific hookup culture, and it's pretty much understood between Koreans that if a guy is chatting me up and he offering me and he wants to take me home, then obviously that's the only thing he wants. Now, if a guy is chatting you up and he's like, "Hey, let me get your telephone number. I'll call you tomorrow," that man is really interested in you. He is interested in getting to know you better. He is interested in possibly dating with you. But if you meet a guy, if you're in Seoul and you're at a bar in Hongdae and this dude is chatting you up and you invite you home, you can pretty much self-assure that you're never gonna see that guy ever again. You guys are gonna do your due, and you're never gonna. It ain't gonna be like he's gonna call you the next day or whatever. It's just implied that people understand that if you're going home with somebody on the first night or the first time you meet them, that that's all that's gonna happen. If a guy is offering to call you the next day, or hey, what are you doing next Friday, and he wants to take you out on a formal date, then you know that a person's a bit more interested in you, and it's not just the physical. But then also there's a thing that not protection. There's a lot of things with Korean men that don't like to wear protection. And so that is true. I've heard that from many foreign girls and girls in Korea that they don't like to wear protection. They'll balk about wearing it. And if you don't really push the issue, they won't do it. But then there's like STDs and especially amongst the young people, especially the ones that are really out there, like at bars and clubs. You know, Hongdae guy, yes. Do you live alone? Are you? Yes, raw dog. Yes, raw dog. Yes. So yes, they that is a thing in South Korea that like doesn't get talked about enough. And so like I said, when I tell y'all when people are talking about K idols are spotted together, dispatch, or somebody takes a picture of them at a bar or leaving a parking garage together, the things that I hear from fans and comment sections is like, oh well, this person's dating this person or this person's seeing this person. I'm like, y'all, nah, that's not really it. In my mind, I'm thinking, oh, they probably hooked up. They probably cacao talked, and he was like, let's go out and have some fun. And they probably hooked up. I'm not thinking that these people are dating. And until I see them together, like, more often, or they are spotted together several times, then I'll believe that they're dating. But if I just see one idol and another idol, or idol with a girl or a guy, unidentified, or whoever, then I don't know. I don't automatically assume that person is their boyfriend or girlfriend. I just assume this is probably somebody that they know and that they're hooking up with. Because that's kind of how it usually goes, especially for idols who are really, really busy. I don't assume, but for some reason, for K-pop fans, it goes to, oh, this idol is dating such and such, or this idol is dating, period. But for me, I'm like, I don't think, just like the Jimin in the song Do-On thing, I didn't think they had. I looked at the videos and looked at the situation, and I'm like, child, he probably went out with her 3 or 4 different times, maybe over a course of a 6-7 month period. He probably hit them skins a few times, and that was about it. Like, I didn't think that they had some like love affair, but for some reason with K-pop fans, which please somebody explain this shit to me. I don't understand why K-pop fans takes that people are dating. These are 20-something. Now look, I don't look, listen, Linda, listen. I don't know what the hell y'all were doing in y'all 20s, but I know in my 20s, the whole life was the go life in my 20s. I was out being in my 20s. In my 20s, I was a girl in her 20s. I had friends of all different races and cultures, and we were girls in our 20s. We would go to bars, we would go to clubs, we would hang out. Now, I ain't never had no one night stand or nothing like that. Now, you don't get me wrong. But I've had plenty of opportunity to when I was younger. But we would hang around guys, and we would hang around groups of guys, and things would happen. So I'm just like, K-pop idols are gorgeous. They're rich. They're good looking. They go to parties. They go to clubs, private parties, regular parties. So Ice Queen said had a baby. Some of us went out. Some of us had a baby. Some of us hooked up a few times more than we should have. But I'm like, they're doing things with young people. This is what young people do. There's no difference with idols than anybody else. So when you see your idol with somebody, don't just assume that they're gonna get married and this is a love affair. Baby, they may have met somebody. They may have met a couple of weeks ago at an event. They may have met at that W event and then exchanged messages a few times and been like, hey, what are you doing? Nothing. What are you doing? Nothing. You want to go out tonight? Sure, let's go get something to eat. Let's go to a bar and drink. And that may be it. And they may go home with each other and they may never see each other again. Or they may hook up when they see each other again 3, 4 months later. It don't always have to be this serious thing like they just in love. And I was like, why do y'all think that everybody just because they seen together that they're really like in a relationship or dating? I'm like, no, they can just be out having fun for the night. They're young people. Like they're gonna date and not date and break up and make up or they just hanging out for fun. Sometimes they like, well, I just don't want to be alone. What you doing? Okay, let's go hang out. It's that fake conservative mindset because non-dating contacts, because of the non-dating contracts and shit. Got fans thinking that most idols would. I don't know why fans think that. I have no idea. I have no idea why fan thinks it's in their contracts that they can't date. Idols can date. They can. They do. They do a lot. But they just keep it real secret. Like there's places that they know that they can go. That they can keep it secret. That they can go and mess around. They understand where they can go, where they can't go. Wait, did you hear about the female idol who rented a car and there was a camera in the car, I guess for protection, and caught her with the male idol and he blackmailed her and she paid him? At first, no, I didn't. Kim said K-drama portraying romanticized couples, but that's a K-drama. That's not. He wanted more money and she turned him in. Yeah. I told y'all before, how many times I tell you on my live stream that idols get blackmailed all the time? How many times I tell you, I say, y'all won't hear from Song Duan no more. y'all won't be hearing from her anymore. I told you that I'm telling you, there is a lot of blackmail in Asia, and there's a lot of blackmail in K-pop. And I told y'all about the member of TVXQ that was being blackmailed for almost 4 years by a chick that he was talking to on Facebook. And then they went to court, I think like 4 months ago, and they found her guilty and she going to jail. Then there was a Korean influencer that just went to court not too long ago because these people were blackmailing her. And she's an influencer. But she's a big time one. I forgot her name. But she's a big time influencer. And these people were blackmailing her. There are people who've been blackmailed by exes. People have been blackmailed by people that they met, that they talked to, they thought that was cool with. But a lot of people are blackmailed by exes, are by people that they've slept with or been with, stuff like that. If that was me, I would be like, you are on camera too, right? I would have shut that down a long time ago. I don't know if she ended up on that show yet, Katina, Song Duan. She's supposed to be on some kind of reality show. But I would have took care of her back in 2022. She would have been paid off and shut up. And I told you I would have signed up. I need you to sign this NDA. Go ahead. How much money we need to give you to make this go away? She would have been paid off a long time ago. Again, I don't know what Hive has done so well in the beginning that it makes me think that like somebody quit or they had a restructuring of the company, because Hive has done so well and Big Hit a lot of years avoiding scandals for BTS. And I know, honey, I know for almost a fact that there is shit out there. I almost know. I told y'all. I brought it up before. I told y'all. I asked y'all questions. I said, so was Jimin in Paris somewhere? I said, I'm telling you, baby. Baby, I bring up shit. Sometimes I'm curious, but sometimes I be trying to drop dimes on y'all. Because I know back in the day, Hive has done things to try to cover things that have done things, successfully covered things up and paid people off. That's why people like, why BTS ain't never got no trouble? I'm like, I've heard theories as to why BTS have not got any trouble. But Hive was on their game, which they should have been. But I don't know what's happened now. Like in the past 3 or 4 years with their new company restructuring and expansion, I don't know. I really don't know. I can only theorize. But something has happened. Like something in the past 3 or 4 years, I don't know. I don't know what's happened, but I think something to do with the restructuring of their company and different people coming in. I don't know what has happened. But I know for a long time Big Hit has kept BTS pretty clean, very, very clean all these years. And I know for a fact that BTS has had girlfriends and exes. And you can't tell me that none of these exes and girlfriends ain't one to sit there and drop the dime on them. And I'm telling you that they probably have. Now, as to what happened to these ex-girlfriends and people, I don't know. But I can't tell. But for me to sit up here and believe that BTS ain't never one of these seven dudes got some pissed off ass disgruntled ex-girlfriend, I'm telling you they do. They got some girl out there as mad as hell at one of these dudes. And they ain't said nothing yet. Well, I'm sorry. There is one. There's one. There's been a few incidences here and there over the years, but they went away real quick. Anyway, they went away real quick. But there has been things here and there put out on social media, but they've been handled pretty quickly. That the whole Suran thing. I'm telling you, I researched that Yoongi and Suran thing, and I'm telling you, I looked up, I looked down, I looked high, and I looked low because I'm like, what happened? And that Suran thing was cleared up real quick. Them posts that she was making online, baby, that is some shit there. I saw them posts, and I'm like, huh. And I saw what she wrote, and I was like, okay, girl, you. And then she came back and apologized. Well, I didn't mean it for like that, girl. Stop playing with me. Girl, go sit down somewhere. I read with them posts. She said what she said. She was mad. I mean, she seemed a little butthurt. She posted what she said. Like, I hope you got all you want. I hope you happy now. Girl, you said what you said, girl. Okay. Girl, yes. Girl, I'm like, girl, Saran, go sit down, girl. She was mad. She was mad. I don't care what anybody say. She was mad. She was mad. You go back and look at that whole Yoongi, that Sugar and Saran thing. Baby, I was like, I'm looking at them screenshots. I'm like, girl, you mad. Yeah, Hybe has a new PR person. Thank God. They actually hired a PR person like 2 months ago. They did not have a corporate PR person, which again, we talked about this before, that it floored my mind. It blew my brain that they didn't have a corporate PR person up until 2 months ago. And I was like, well, what have y'all been doing? How do you have a large corporation like Hybe and you don't have a corporate team? They should have a corporate crisis team of people, especially with all this stuff with the IPO and all that. The moment that IPO stuff hit, they should have hired a crisis manager and everything should have came in there. Did Sugar dump her? I Katina, I believe so, yes. I believe he did dump her or did something to her. They either did her wrong, ghosted her, dumped her, something like that. Because I went back and looked everything. I went back and read all the posts, all the little theories, all the little, and I was like, girl, she said what she said. She was like, oh no, it's misconstrued. She posted that on purpose. She was probably in her feelings one night. She's probably drinking in her feelings. It's like, I'm gonna post this, you know. And young people do that, you know. And she probably was angry, you know, probably was mad, drinking a little bit, and was like, ugh. It happens. People let their emotions get ahead of them. And like I said, we don't know what mind state or what actually exactly happened. But before that, I went back and looked at other little things here and there too. Like he did mention her name a few times, but Yoongi never mentions another artist's name like that. But he did mention her name a few times. And I thought that was kind of curious that people proposed that. They like, well, he did mention her name a few times. And before all of this happened. He wouldn't take her to Hong Kong. Oh, I think he maybe did. Maybe that's why she was mad. I have my own theory about Yoongi. I have my own whispers and things about Yoongi. I don't know about now, but from what I've allegedly can glean, that he may have been the type of dude that like girls think that like they're gonna be the one, and then he's like, you ain't the one, honey. You know, he may be one of them kind of dudes that may be like, I'm not ready for marriage or anything like that. And then it may be a situation where he's not really ready to settle down because of everything, but they may allegedly he may be like, we're cool, and then the girls may be like, but we're not, and they want to have something a bit more serious, and maybe he's just kind of like, okay, that's not really what I want, and you may get a situation where you come up on women who are like, girl, I can change him, and I'm gonna be the one that he's gonna fall in love with, like it may be a situation, yes, that somebody catches a lot of feelings and the other person is kind of like, okay, like we dating, but we ain't like that, that, yeah. You want the Jim and Whispers? I can't even tell y'all about Jim. Baby, the things I've heard, it's not the best. But I can tell y'all one thing. So this is the gossip section. I can tell y'all one thing. Out of everybody in BTS, like, because I've asked, y'all know I'm gonna ask. There are two people. Well, I'm sorry, there's one and another person that I have not heard anything bad about. I've heard snickers and bad things. He's the one that said he's attracted to the personality. I believe that's somewhat true, but I think he likes a certain, yes, that he likes personality and stuff like that. But I still think he finds certain women like, physically attractive or maybe emotionally and mentally attractive. But there's one person in BTS that I have never heard anything bad about. Now there are people that I've heard bad things about long time ago, like things that they did a long time ago that rub people the wrong way. But there's one and a half person that I've never heard anything bad about, like anything really bad. And that person is Sakjin. Out of everybody that I've heard all kinds of whispers and rumors, Jin is the only person that I have not heard one bad thing about at all. I have heard nothing. Jin is professional. He's hardworking. He's easygoing. He doesn't hold on to grudges. That Jin is very professional and hardworking and a good part and a nice person. There's a half person. You thought you knew it. See, you know it. And then that I haven't heard anything like outside of the business and then inside of the business. Like whether there be their personal private lives or stuff inside the business. I've never heard anything salacious about Jin's private life. I have never heard anything about Jin doing any kind of girl wrong. I've never heard anything. I've never heard it. Everybody else, I've heard little things that I'll be like, oh yeah. Jin, I was like, what about Jin? People are like, Jin keeps to himself. He's very private. He's a very private person. Jin is not one to go out and party. He has this group of friends that he goes and hangs out with and drinks with and socialize with and kick it with. But Jin is not a social butterfly like that. And he just hangs around with his homies, and he just keeps it moving. I heard that Jin keeps it moving. His personality is he doesn't dwell, he doesn't hold grudges, he just keeps it moving. That Jin doesn't take things personal. Like you talk to him a certain way, like Jin doesn't really get that mad, and he just like, oh well, So there you go. Not Kim Saran, but Saran, the singer, not Kim Saran. We're gonna talk about Kim Saran in a minute. But yes, I've yet to hear anybody say Jin is I've not heard anything. And the other half person is RM. RM's the other one that I have not heard a lot, anything lately, anything recently, about. But then I hear that RM keeps to himself a lot. Like he's very private and he keeps to himself. And he's not he goes out and does things because he's required to, promotions. And he does have a set of friends that he does hang out with and he does like to kick it with. But he's not like out at parties and clubs and stuff like all like that. Like he's not a party person. He just likes to go out and hang out and go to festivals and stuff like that. But I hear RM is kind of secretive, that he kind of keeps his people that he likes close to him. But he has a huge set of friends in different industries in different countries, and a lot of people really like RM. A lot of people like him, like his personality. They really like RM. You were confused. No, I'm talking about Saran, not Kim Saran, but we're gonna talk about her in a minute. But yes, those are the two people. Jen, especially, I've not heard anything inside and outside. And then um Namjoon, anything recently. Now there's some things in the beginning of his career that I heard about, but that it's just he was young. And so I just chalked that up to him being young and new to the business and the kind of the people he was hanging around with, like the rappers and stuff. Jimin had a hickey. When did Jimin have a hickey? But I heard that Junie, he's grown up. That he's grown up and matured. That in the beginning, he was kind of a punk. But I've learned that like him being the leader of BTS and having a lot of responsibility has weighed on him a lot. And that he's grown up. That he's really not that person he was a long time ago, which is like in any one of us. But the other ones, oh baby, you ain't gonna have me up here on no live stream. People get mad at me, baby. I'm not up here spreading rumors. All I can say is positive. But the other ones, I've heard some things that I'm just like, okay, like, oh, all right, all right. Like there's some things I've heard, not anything criminal or illegal, but things that kind of make me giggle, things that kind of make me pause. Like people, you know, that have had run-ins with certain people that they like, ooh, and again, I don't know whether to trust these people or not, because these are not like people that this friend of a friend of a friend said, blah, 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 blah. And then sometimes people just rub you the wrong way, like your personalities don't really get along. And so sometimes people run into people and they like, ooh, they catch them on a bad day, or they didn't caught them in a situation, or maybe they've done something unprofessional that irked the other person. You know, oh, hello, JK, we here. Oh my God, mosquito bite. We're talking about BTS gossip, and we're saying that the person that I've heard that doesn't have anything bad, anyone's ever said anything bad about them is Jen. Like Jen, I don't have any anything about Jen that I've heard that is bad. Like I've heard Jen was very professional and very kind, and that he was a nice guy, hard worker, and easy to get along with. So that's what we were talking about. That's what we were talking about, the gossip. But speaking of Kim Saran. So for those of you guys don't know, we're going to talk about the Kim Saran. Kim Saran was an actress that actually took her life February of this year. She started out as a child actress, and then she kind of grew up in the K-drama industry. She was a Korean actress. In 2021, I think she had a car accident where she was drinking and driving, and she hit this transformer, this thing that has all the electricity in it. They have them on the streets in a lot of cities in Korea. She hit it, and all the electricity went out in the building, and then she smashed her car in. And I think she got out of the car and tried to flee the scene. Child, was a whole mess back in 2021. I had barely heard of this actress, didn't know really a lot about her. I heard about the accident she got in. She had to pay restitution. She was with an agency, and the agency paid the money. I think they paid like $300,000 or something like that. It was some crazy amount, because she had to pay. The businesses went out. They had no electricity, so she had to pay the businesses. She had to go apologize. She got a big fine. She went to court. She admit what she did. She was drunk, yada yada. But it ruined her career, ruined her reputation, ruined her career. Oh, you said she was a good actress. I've never seen anything with her in it. I heard she was a good actress. I've seen pictures of her. She's a beautiful young lady, and she was pretty much an actress that was been in that business since she was younger, and people talk highly about her. Yeah, knocked out the electricity for a lot of businesses, so she had to pay all this money, right? And it ruined her career. So it ruined her career so bad that she was living with a roommate, and she was like working at a cafe or working someplace to try to pay off her debts. And she was trying to get work, and she was getting little small gigs here and there. Her agency was trying to have gigs. And that's when I tell y'all, when you talk about the industry, her reputation was ruined, and people didn't want, all because she was drunk. She had to think, she apologized, all that. So what people figured out when she ended her life, people didn't know a lot of, when I say people, I mean like fans and people outside of the industry didn't realize how bad this young lady was suffering. So when I talk about Yoongi and his scandal, It is the same thing with T.O.P. and the same thing with this Kim Saran young lady. When things started to come out what she was going through, it was hell. Like, she couldn't get no job. People wouldn't work with her. People were taking advantage of her. She would go for gigs, and then they would tell her it would be used to pay off her debts. She wasn't making no money. Now, I'm not saying Yoongi's situation is like that, because he is on a whole nother level being part of BTS. He is protected. He is very privileged. But the things that she was going through mentally and emotionally and financially, a lot of people did not understand. She started getting gigs here and there. People didn't know she wasn't getting paid for these gigs. It was used to pay off her debt. People didn't know how bad she was struggling behind the scenes. Even some of her family and friends didn't know how bad she was struggling. She was literally working like, I think at one time, 2 jobs to try to make ends meet. Meanwhile, there are male actors that essayed and worse, yet still working in the industry. Yes. So being a female in the industry is a lot different than being a male in the industry. Whether it be K-pop or K-drama or whatever. It's different. For a man, you can kind of get away with it a little bit. For a woman, no. So it's not like she hurt somebody. It's not like she ran over somebody's cat. She just hit the transformer, Yeah, it's the gossip. So yes, it's not the act that ruins it. It's the gossip and the fallout behind the scenes. And people didn't realize how bad she was really suffering. So she made a host of decisions after this that I would say that was very ill-gotten. Okay, that possibly she was in an emotional state that kind of, even before this, there was things coming out saying that she was struggling in the industry before this happened, and possibly she was drinking too much, and possibly that she was just struggling in the business, and it was affecting her mentally and emotionally. So you can see how fragile a person can be inside the industry. So again, when I learn about stuff like that, I think about Yoongi. And again, he's a whole different person. He's on a whole different level, but still it affects people. So Kim Saran was, even before she had this accident, she was struggling. She was not getting work. She possibly had mental health issues. She was possibly suffering from depression and all kinds of things. She was out doing things that I would describe as being kind of reckless. She came from a home environment that wasn't exactly stable. I'm saying that like loosely, but from the things that got out about her family, since she was a child, she had no money. She was a child actress. By the time she got to be 18, 19 years old, she literally had no money. Like, her money was gone. Like, her parents should have been saving up her money. She didn't have no money. She was still out here working as an actress. Her parents didn't save up none of it. We're talking about Kim Saran. Talking about Kim Saran. So yeah, we're getting to that. So she had been working since she was a child, So yes, welcome back. She was working since she was a child. And you would think by the time, I'm like, what happened to her money? Her parents had no answer, still ain't got no answer for what happened. I'm like, didn't they say, in America, we have laws here, child labor laws, where the parents are required to put a certain amount of money back when they work in the industry. Kim Saran had no money. She hit 18, she still had to work. And then, as she got older, she getting older, she wasn't a cute little kid, so it was hard for her to try to find adult type roles to fit now that she's 18, 19 years old. And then she's been working her whole life as an actress, ever since, I think she started when she was 11 or 12. She was used. So she ended her life. She owed a lot of debt. I don't think she left a note or anything. Sadly, she's one of many actors and actresses and K-idols that have ended her life because she really felt like she was trapped in a no-win situation. She was in debt. She still owed for this accident. She wasn't getting no acting jobs in Korea and inside the industry. Fans may have forgotten about this incident, but we start to see the inner workings of the industry. So I tell y'all, when things happen to scandal to stars and stuff like that, we go on with our lives. It's been a year since the shit happened to Yoongi. We're like, everybody should be over by now. Inside the industry, Kim Saran was catching hell inside the industry. Nobody wanted to work with her. She would be on the phone begging people for auditions, begging people to give her a chance. Her agency was trying to get her commercial gigs. She would do gigs where she would just show up. Like, I'm not saying it's demeaning, y'all, but for her to be an actress of her caliber, to work with so many different actors, and for her to be showing up at events as a hostess, like, well, we're gonna send you to this gig that needs somebody to hold a microphone and host. Like, that's the kind of shit she was doing to try to work. That she's an actress. She's been an actress for over 10 years. This is what she was doing. Working as a hostess chick at some corporate party or some birthday party. Like, this is the type of stuff that Kim Saran was doing. This is how much she had fallen. So you got to think of psychologically that demeans you. You didn't went from having these deals and having this stuff, and then now you like, okay, I'm a hostess at a club somewhere. Like, that's the type of stuff. But she had to do what she had to do. She's working at a cafe because she literally could not get any jobs. People pitied her, and she got a job like in this one TV show. I forgot. I think it was called Bloodhounds, and she was in there a little bit working, and then she was in a music video. You know what I'm saying? So when she took her life, there's this YouTuber called Ghetto Settle. So Ghetto Settle is this Korean language, Korean based YouTuber that talks about like celebrity gossip and everything like that. He had this story and had a family member of hers. I wouldn't say her mother. I think it was her aunt or somebody, saying that Kim Saran was really depressed and stuff like that, but saying that they had a secret to reveal, that she was having a relationship with a really well-known famous older actor. He was older than her. I think Kim Saran was like 24 when she passed. Well, this other actor, he's in his 30s. He's in his early 30s. His name is Kim Soo-young. So Kim Soo-young, I've never heard of him. I'm not into the K-dramas or whatever. They accused Kim Soo-young of having a relationship with her when she was 14, 15 years old. They had worked together on some TV show or movie when she was like 13, 14, and he was like 20 or something, 21. And then he went to the military, and then supposedly he wrote her letters. So they accused Kim Soo-young, to make a long story short, of having a relationship with her. Kim Soo-young got up there, he made statements, he got up there at a press conference and said that did not happen. He said he dated her when she was 18 years old, and it wasn't even that long. The agency that she was a part of was an agency that he owned or co-owns with somebody else. And they represent other talent and himself and her. And she did owe the agency money because the agency had paid for she hit this thing. And I said, remember, so she was really paying the agency back because they have the actors insured. And so anytime they get into any kind of accident or something like that, the agency will pay for the accident, pay the cost. And they, in turn, will pay the agency back. So she, technically speaking, owed the agency money for her accident. She owed them like $200,000. So the agency, they have a legal team and everything like that. And they sent her a letter saying that she was behind on payments or whatever, which is normally what you do as a debt collector. And then they have some kind of audio or cacao messages of she trying to contact him saying about this debt. And he didn't respond back to her. He had said that they were together. They've been not together. Okay. So they called this man everything but a child of God. I did 2 live streams. I looked at everything. And I said, well, this doesn't make any sense. Because I'm like, this doesn't make any sense. I said, y'all are after this man. I said, and then he came out and said there's no evidence. The evidence that they showed, they pulled out some pictures allegedly of them together. This guy, he lost his endorsements. He was on a TV show. He got cut out the TV show. He lost movie roles, all this stuff. This man said that he was innocent. Well, folks, it came out that Kim Saran was actually married. Not to Kim Soo-young. She was married to a guy from America. And the guy came out and said, yeah, we were married, but they were separated. And it turns out she was dating another guy while she was with her husband, which, again, nothing against Kim Saran. She can do whatever she want to do. But and Kim Soo-young is like, you see that they hadn't been together in years. She said that they hadn't been together since she was 19. She was 24. So this is 4 or 5 years later they hadn't been together. He said, no, like, we weren't in a relationship. And then they were saying that he was sending letters to her when he was in the military. And it turned out that Kim Soo-young had a girlfriend while he was in the military. They said that they were going to release the letters. I don't know if any letters ever got released or anything like that. But yeah, she was 15 years old. And he said they were just acquaintances. They were just friends or whatever. Da, 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 da. And so this ghetto sale channel came out. So Kim Soo-young got tired of him. He's been drugged through the mud since February. I supported Kim Soo-young. I don't know him. I supported this man. Turns out they went to court. And with court, they have discovery. So discovery means that both parties have to present evidence. And in a court, you can't lie your way through. You can say whatever you want to say on YouTube. It turns out Ghetto Settle lied. They lied. They lied. This is going to be the biggest case in South Korea. Mark my words. Came out in discovery this week. They used AI. They falsified pictures. They made up letters. They made all the shit that they said this man made up. They lied. They lied on Kim Soo-young. They lied. They made it up. They falsified pictures, falsified documents using AI. They lied. Kim Soo-young didn't date her when she was underage. It's in discovery. This is going to be the biggest court case in entertainment history because they literally lied. They made this shit up. All of it. He was dating another girl while he was in the military. He did date her off and on, probably about 2 years, but it was never not that serious. They made it all up. They lied on this man. They ruined this man's career, his reputation. They made it up. They made it up. Right. The letters, lies. AI, they made it up. This is going to be the biggest. They said that this case is going to be the biggest case in South Korea entertainment history. That this is going to be a watershed case. They lied. This man did not. They called this man a PDF file. They called, even though the age of consent in Korea at the time was the age of 13, which is true, which they changed the age of consent to 16, but it's still 16 in Korea. It's not 18. The age of consent back then, like 10 years ago, was 13. And that's on Korea. But they lied. They called this guy a creep. They called this guy a pedophile. They even blamed him for the reason why she took her own life, but they weren't in a relationship. She was married and she was with another guy. She had dated guys after Kim Soo-young and her were broken up. Their quote unquote love affair, the parents tried to sit there and say he need to apologize. I'm like, why would he need to apologize? Because the parents were going to sue him and shake him down for money, which is what I said. He was like, why am I admitting to something I didn't even do? He didn't do nothing. The parents were trying to get him to admit wrongdoing so they could sue him. So the parents were on in this too. Because they are money hungry. They lied. They straight up falsified things, straight up lied. And they had admitted in court this week. They lied. They ruined this guy's life. Ruined his life. And he was vindicated in court. And they admitted, yeah, we made those up. Yeah, we used AI to change the pictures. They were like, oh, here's pictures and she was 16. And he was like, that's not what. AI. They used AI software and technology to make up pictures and letters. Yeah, they also drugging her parents saying that they knew that the daughter was, yes. They yes. Saying that he was with their minor daughter. The parents lied. And I said that before. I said, these parents are liars. I said, these parents don't sound, I said, nah, these parents seem like they lying. Why? And I was like, how is your 15-year-old daughter going to be with a grown man and you don't know that they're together? She's 15. She can't drive. She can't. So you mean that they had a relationship that y'all consented to? And the parents are trying to say that they knew that they were in a relationship, but they didn't really say anything. But I'm like, wait a minute. Y'all knew y'all 15-year-olds in a relationship with a 27-year-old man. Y'all didn't say it. Well, I don't know who's worse. Yeah, the parents had no shame. They were trying to get him. They kept telling this man over and over again, he needs to, all we want is an apology. I said, no, they don't just want an apology. I said, no, they're trying to get him to admit to something so they can turn around and take him to court and sue him. And I told everybody that. Everybody jumped all over this man in comment section. People made video after video after video after video about this situation. People made tons of videos on this situation. And I said it before and I'm going to say it again. Where are the videos? I'm looking on social media. I'm like, so is nobody going to talk about the fact that this man was vindicated? Oh, we're not? Oh, we're not making no videos? I know channels that made video after video after video for 3 weeks. Dragging Kim Soo-young. And I'm like, okay, so y'all ain't gonna make no videos talking about this man was lied on? Okay, I get it. I get it. Y'all made y'all videos. Y'all got y'all viewers. Y'all got y'all subscribers. Y'all made y'all little money. And then I followed up on this case and followed up on this case, and I was so happy he was suing. And I said, finally, we're going to see what the real truth is. And when you go to court, you can't lie to the court. You can lie to the public. You can try it in the court of public opinion. You can lie to the media because the media was all over this case for months. For months, this went on and on and on. And I defended him in 3 videos. And I said, y'all, wait. I said, none of this makes any sense. They had fake roommates and friends of hers and former roommates anonymously saying, yeah, she was so depressed over here. No, she wasn't. And I said, who are these roommates? Former friends. Friends who? Well, they're anonymous sources. Then they had some dude in a hospital. It went real left. Then they had some dude in a hospital claiming that he had evidence and that Kim Soo-young threatened him and put him in the hospital. Baby, it went real left. Yeah, you can lie, but you can't in court. Because that's perjury. And they know they were going to get in trouble. So yeah, they had to come. They were like, okay, present your evidence. And they're like, yeah. And the guy that was supposedly hospitalized because Kim Soo-young beat him up or whatever, that was all a lie. It was a lie. And the guy came out and was like, oh, well, I lied about that. This was all set up by that YouTube channel. Yes. The post that they were putting together that she made on social media, well, this is about Kim Soo-young. I'm like, well, how do you know? Like, what would indicate that? Child, Kim Soo-young wasn't even thinking about Kim Soo-young. She wasn't thinking about him, honey. She had moved on with her life. And her parents knew that. Her parents knew that she had moved on. She had married somebody else. She was married to some other guy. And the guy came forward and was like, yeah, but we were separated. And she was talking to one of her exes while she was married, telling her ex she was unhappy with her marriage. And she was talking to her ex, which again, I'm not trying to drag her because that's just her business, what she wanted to do. She wasn't thinking about Kim Soo-young. She was not interested in him. She was not hitting him up romantically. She was asking about the debt. And they had been it had been 4 years since they've been together. She had moved on. She had dated other dudes after him. She was married to another guy while she was talking to and possibly seeing another guy. And that's just the honest to God truth of it all. And that was her right to do whatever she wanted to do with her love life. She had to find comfort and solace in whatever she had to comfort. But I can say her decision, she got with this dude. She didn't know him a lot. They got introduced through friends. They had apparently this whirlwind romance, and they were married in the United States very quickly. And I think that poor Kim Soo-young, in my opinion, she married this dude way too quick. And they got married, and then once they were married, they realized, okay, how are we going to make it work? He was in America, she was in South Korea, and she didn't want to live in America, and she was still trying to make her career work, and he lives here in California, and then they realized they weren't really suitable for each other. And I think that she was just probably lonely or desperate or just wanted somebody, to comfort her or emotional needs. I can only guess. But Kim Soo-young, ever since that accident, she made a series of like really reckless decisions. And I can understand like people really close to her knew her were saying that like her mental state wasn't really, in the right frame of mind. She was so stressed out, and neighbors were reporting that they would see her crying, in the hallway, and, that she was just stressed out because behind the scenes in the industry, people had shunned her. People that she was friends with and worked with wouldn't even talk to her anymore. So that's why I tell y'all, what happens for what we see is one thing, but behind the scenes, she had friends and people in the industry that she knew for years, and directors and producers and they wouldn't even talk to her anymore. They like totally turned their back on her. So I can understand her mental state was not good. And then the type of family, how they showed themselves, with all this bullshit, and this is your daughter. And I said, there's no way in hell. I don't care what I found out about my daughter. If my daughter took her life, I would let her rest. I don't care if I found her notes and letters and she was seeing an older guy. There's no way I would drag my daughter's reputation like these parents did. They're despicable fucking people. I would be like, you know what? I'm not going to drag my daughter's reputation. We're just going to let it be. Just let her rest in peace. They didn't let Kim Saran rest in peace. She had no money. Let me reiterate, no money after her working as a child actress consistently. She had no money. They said she had none. No money saved up. Her parents didn't save her money. And then once she's passed on, you get with a YouTuber and you concoct the story because what? You were trying to shake down money from this guy. They despicable people too. They like, y'all are despicable. I would let my daughter's memory just lie. Like, there's no sense of bringing up this old stuff. You know what? Whatever. Water underneath the bridge. I let her rest in peace. There is no way in hell, as a loving parent, I could see myself doing that as a parent. Bringing up things about my daughter's sex life and love life and who she dated and the stuff that the parents brought up about her to the media, on social media. We're going to release pictures and letters. And why? What? I'm like, well, her reputation, it wouldn't be no reputation. Y'all the one that came forward and started accusing this guy. So you dragging your own daughter's reputation. They could have just left it alone and been like, you know what, we're good. But no, they just kept it. And I was like, this is suspicious why the parents just keep going on and on and on and on about this. I like, they're trying to get money out of this man. Yeah, these drama for random people. And then people online dragging this guy. Issuing him all kind of death threats. Calling him all kinds of perverts. Calling him. And then behind the scenes, his career in his agency is failing. Because people think he's some kind of PDF file. They think he's some kind of weirdo. I don't understand that people can look themselves in the mirror. I don't know how these content creators that I ain't seen, like I said, I looked on the internet the other day. I was like, is anybody going to write what happened? Are y'all going to write what happened? Because y'all covered it really extensively for like a whole 2 months. February, March, y'all was on it. Around Yoongi's birthday in March, they were still having stories. I remember Yoongi's birthday came on the 9th and I was still looking at stories. They were still talking about this for months, making content. And then now nobody's making content about what really happened in court this week. And I thought that this would be all over the news. It has not been. The Media Dispatch, Korean Herald, JTBC, they were all over this story. Now it's barely a blip that I heard. I saw it. It came up. Barely anybody talking. Ain't no content creators I seen making videos besides Asian Entertainment. She was the only one that mentioned it, saying that he was vindicated. All the rest of these content creators, I have not seen them yet. Even the Korean ones. I only seen like a few Korean language ones really talk about this. And I said, this is a shame. A lot of people didn't even know that they were even in court. I know he went to court. He took them to court like 3 months ago. A lot of people didn't even know they were even in court. I remember he took them to court. I'm like, finally. And yes, a lot of people didn't even report on the decision. It was barely a blip in the news. Yeah. No, y'all saying y'all didn't hear about it either. No one in the media is talking about this. Why? It was all over, dominated the news in Korea for the longest time. And now nobody's talking about it, except for me and Asian Entertainment and maybe a few other people. And I wanted to talk about it today because I defended this man and I made videos and I defended, and people were like, no, you're defending. I was like, no, y'all, this is not adding up. I said, as a parent, I'm telling you this is not adding. I'm a parent. I'm telling you this is not adding up. This is not how normal parents act with a child that's taking their lives. This is not how you act with your child. And I kept telling people, something's not right. This ghetto settle and his YouTube, and I looked at his YouTube channel and I said, it just seems like they're just making shit up. And then they supposedly had an audio tape of Kim Saran crying, talking about she got an abortion or something like that. And I was like, that's fake. That's AI. That's an AI audio. It was fake. So I guess people can just make up stuff. Yeah. Yeah, I was so mad for this. I was like, I don't even know this dude. But I felt bad because I'm like, this is like the same shit. And it reminded me of the same thing that Yoongi went through about trying to explain to people, I didn't do this. This is not me. And the Korean media and the public court of public opinion was so merciless on this man that it would be enough to drive me crazy. I thought this man was going to try to like hurt himself in some way because it was a lot. Like this was a lot. So a lot of news outlets, and I hopefully he'll sue these people into oblivion. Y'all know I want these people to pay. I want these people to get up and do a press conference. I want these people to get up and do a deep ass motherfucking bow. I want them to be on their knees bowing. I want you to do a traditional Korean bow. I don't want to see no half-ass bow. No, I want you on your knees and your forehead on the damn pavement. And these people need to release a statement. Their YouTube channel should be taken down, and all the news media outlets should report it because this YouTuber is despicable to do this to this man. He was getting clicks, he was getting views, he was getting revenue. Yeah, it was covered in the India Times. It was so big. It was everywhere. Cause y'all, if y'all don't know, I read the India Times, so I read a lot of it was in the Chinese media too. It was in the CCTN too. I read a lot of international news. I read a lot of Chinese and India. I read the Hindustan Times too. People be amazed. People be like, you know what? I was like, people like, Keisha just, they like cheat. Yeah, I was like, that's right. It was in the Chinese news. It was in India. They blacklisted him big time. Yeah, it was everywhere. It was everywhere. It even made news over here in America too. They were talking about it in Billboard. They were talking about it. You can get in the back preaching. You hear my cat? Y'all hear my cat? No, Vicky! Hear my cat? Mickey! He's by my door meowing. I don't know why. He need to go meow by his sister's door. Is that what ATP said? That's why you stop following Korean media news. That's not politics because it's way too much. Let me ask it's called to baby. Yeah, I'm telling. I have all these news outlets pop up. Like I get a lot of stuff about like just stuff, and some of the stuff I just be like, I don't care. But then some of the real stuff that came up, like I said, the Kim Soo Young thing, I followed since it first dropped. I was all in this story. I went down the rabbit hole. I didn't look at all the posts people were posting clips. I watched many content creators videos. So Like TV even did a video, but he was pretty even-handed with his. He came back and did a video. He did several videos about what happened. Mickey is pissed. Y'all hear my cat over here? Meow, y'all hear him? Korean media is so horrible. Like I'm gonna do a whole video about the history of Korea. I'm studying about the history of Korean media, like all the way back from like World War II to now. And like the things that I've learned a lot about how their media is chaotic and why it is such tabloid driven, because I wanted to know. And so I'm in the middle of researching that. That's researching the media. But yeah, y'all hear my kitty over here. Meow. Mickey! I'm like, I need him to go see his brother and sister. You know, but yeah, Korean media is something else, baby. It's something I've you know, as a media major, I'm just like, Lord have mercy. But yes, that's the story. And I might do a separate video about it because there's a lot that's going to come out within the next couple of weeks. So I'll probably give it a couple of weeks. But there's a lot more that's going to come out in court about this situation. It is legal yellow journalism because they put out narratives that like I told y'all, I be trying to tell y'all the tricks that they be doing, and the tricks especially they be doing with BTS is heinous. It's like I don't even understand how they get. I mean, I understand what they're doing is not technically speaking illegal because they're not lying, but they'll bring up shit that has nothing to do with nothing. So what happened to RM's money? And I'm just like, so my question is, have we looked up anybody else's money? Oh no, we haven't. Just RM's money. RM donated money. What happened to it? Why are y'all looking to see where RM's donation went? Y'all ain't looking at nobody where nobody else donation went? As if he's the only celebrity that don't. Okay. That's the type of shit that's the type of things that drive me absolutely positively crazy. And I'm finna tell y'all something right now. I'm going to tell y'all something, and I listen, y'all. I make predictions all the time. This is one of my biggest ones. Child, I'm going to tell y'all something right now. When they talk about the W Korea and all this shit, let me tell you, I'm telling y'all with the cancer awareness and everything. Listen, y'all. I wouldn't be surprised if a year from now, or maybe months, or maybe a year or two from now, that Yoongi's Severance Hospital, like Yoongi has that mind at the autism treatment center. So he has his own program for those of you who don't know, but all of y'all pretty much know that. I wouldn't be surprised if the Korean media don't start going and digging into his organization. I wouldn't put it past them. So I tell people, be careful what you wish for. Because when you asking, talking about, well, what W did they donate? I'm like, okay. I'm sitting there going, this will kind of open the floodgates. And so if Sugar's treatment center eventually are going to have sponsors and donations, the government of Korea can only do so much. So eventually, as they have more children and they get to be more established and they built this pretty wing of the building and everything, they're going to have creditors, they're going to have expenses and stuff like that. So my question is, who is paying for all these expenses? That's number one. Number two, they're going to have some kind of donations because every treatment center, every charitable organization or treatment center or anything that's in conjunction with a hospital, they have certain budgets that they have to go through. And then eventually they need sponsors, they need fundraisers and stuff like that. So eventually the money that Yoongi has dedicated, once they get this thing up and rolling and more kids enrolled into this program, they're going to have funds. They're going to have funds. And the hospital in South Korea can only do so much. So they're going to have outside sponsors and stuff like that. So how long before they start having a ball or a thing or something like that to raise money for Yoongi's treatment center, or have a like a call-in-a-thon or outreach, like outreach in the community, like sometimes I know hospitals have like little fairs and little things people can bring their kids and they pay for popcorn and rides and part of the proceeds go to the organization. How long before the Korean media start looking into Yoongi's center? I'll wait. Because with this W Korea shit, that's the first thing I thought. I said, oh, it's just a matter of time before they start looking into Yoongi's shit. They gonna do it. Somebody's gonna get a bird up their asses and they're gonna be like, you know what? We need to look into Yoongi's center and where are they getting the money from? I promise you. That's gonna be I promise you. I'm like, just wait for it. Give it a little bit. Give it a little bit. Give it like 6 months to a year. They're gonna be like, well, you know what? We've been hearing things from some of the parents that I'm telling you. That is going to be the narrative. Well, some of the parents have complained about, they just don't have the right facility. Look, I was laying in my bed at 3 a.m. going, I'm like, I'm finna go to sleep. Then all suddenly I'm like, ah! They're already questioning Sugar will keep donating. Thank you, Susanna. Right now, somebody is somewhere going, so I wonder where they're going to get this money from, huh? Maybe we should start asking. know, yes. I read the Korean comments on RM's APEC speech, and a lot were talking about him dancing at the W Korea event. Right. Maria Miller said that there go her blood pressure. I'm telling you, 3 o'clock in the morning, I'm like, oh, good night. Wait, 3 o'clock? Well, hold on. Wait, let me get my pillow. Okay. All right. 3 o'clock in the morning, I'm like, Yoongi, it's so great. Just, Yoongi, just, wait, what? What? The money? Wait, the money? What about, what money? I woke up in the middle of the night. I'm like, I was like, these bastards. I said, they gonna try to get my Yoongi. I said, watch. I'm telling you, I keep telling everybody, just you watch. They gonna be like, Yoongi, Severance Hospital, mind treatment. Where's the money at? Where are the funds going to? They're going to be all up in Yoongi's face. They're going to be like, would you like to make a statement or a comment about where the money is coming from, where the money is going? Who's raising the money? Who are the parents really, are the kids really getting the treatment that they need? Yes, what we've noted, the prediction. November 1st, when y'all see the articles, y'all be like, damn it. Y'all be like, here we go. Right. Somebody is going to start asking questions because it's BTS. If it was anybody else, they probably wouldn't even care. They wouldn't even pay attention. But when this W Korea stuff hit, I'm like, I'm like, oh, no. This to me just opens the door for being like, hey, yeah, I get it. I agree. They need to leave Yoongi alone. But I'm telling you, the situation with Yoongi's reputation, and he did a good thing, even though he did a good thing, and people are like, oh, this is just for PR, and it is good PR. I'm not gonna lie, it is good PR. So I can't sit there and say it is good PR. So that was a bonus. But Yoongi has always given. Like I even told my sister-in-law that. She was like, oh, it's good PR. I was like, but Sugar's always given a lot of money. Like he's given money to a lot of causes that they haven't really reported on. This kind of flew underneath the radar, but he's given over the years. This wasn't the first time. This is his biggest donation. He has a whole center. So, and like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if instead of doing BTS shit, that Sugar's out there involved with this center and trying to make things happen and make things work and busy trying to make things good and make things work. And which he should be. Like I said, for all we know, Sugar has found something that he's more passionate about than music. He may love music and he's contractually obligated to do music things, but he may have found his life calling. Like Sugar really may be gone in his life may have taken a whole different direction. And he may have been like, I really love music and I love performing, but I like this a lot more. And this is much more emotionally and mentally rewarding for him. So he may feel that way, and so we don't know what, Sugar may be busying his time with the album and rehearsing and performing and writing, but he also may be like, his mind may be distracted. He may be like, I'm really trying to help these kids. I'm really working hard to make sure that everybody has everything that they need. Because again, starting a foundation or organization takes a lot of cooperation and a lot of people, and it's not an easy thing to keep going. Because eventually all the money you give runs out very quickly. It's expensive to have a treatment center. It's expensive. There's a lot of expenses. And then you got to think, do you want to charge the parents or not? I thought about that the other day. I don't know if they're charging these parents or not. So do you charge the parents? Or do you, if they have health insurance that will cover the cost, but a lot of times health insurance, even in Korea, won't cover the cost. So do you have the parents pay a fee? And maybe they're like, well, we don't want to charge the parents. The parents have enough health expenses and stuff like that. Maybe you want the treatment center to be free. And if you want the treatment center to be free and you're not charging the parents any kind of fees, or you're not charging their insurance, or their insurance won't cover the cost, then how are you going to cover the cost? There's costs for staff. There's going to be costs for instruments. Hell, there's costs just to keep the lights on, and have furniture and stuff like that. So, there's going to have to be therapists and stuff like that. And if you plan to expand, all of that takes money in planning and organization. And so to me, this is just the first step amongst many into what's going to become. And I think that Sugar wants to expand his treatment center and help more people and help more kids and do more things. And research costs money. And all you have these specialists, and these specialists cost a lot of money. None of this is for free. And BTS fans have made tons of donations. Yes. Yes. And so, yeah, so hopefully Yoongi Center is something I think, in my opinion, this is just my opinion. Now, Marie Miller, now I know you saw that teddy bear, but anyway, Marie Miller, like, where you get that picture of that teddy bear? I'm like, girl, don't know, mind your business. You teddy bears they was giving out when it opened. But anyway, I was like, here's a teddy bear. Y'all like, where you get that picture from? I'm like, mind your business. Don't worry, I got that picture from. But I think that the therapists and the thing for the center, they want to expand. I think that their goal is to expand into other places in South Korea, and possibly this could go big, really, really big internationally. Like if the treatment center has been proven and they have the studies behind it, the medical and the scientific studies behind it, it could really help kids. We can spread this musical therapy. This thing can really go worldwide. It could go to different autistic centers. And there may be autistic organizations in South Korea and maybe abroad looking into it, allegedly. Now, look, yeah, now once again, let me put the hoodie on. Remember, you didn't hear it from me. But there could be other autism, and child development specialists may be looking into this, that they've gotten wind of this. And there's always a room for alternative therapies when it comes to child development and autism. So with that said, there may be different people that are wanting to come on board and adapt the Mickey? Anyway, there might be other people wanting to adapt the program for their own hospital and their own organizations. And again, all of these things take money. So there's only so much that donations can do. You have to get regular sponsors. You have to have fundraisers and fund drivers and stuff like that. And again, all that is normal. But then again, the question is, the Korean media just gonna let it lie? Okay, good night, ATP 86. Good night. I'm almost done anyway, girl. I'm about ready to get up out of here. Right. Yes, this is your field, Marie Miller. This is your field. So yes, this thing can really blow up, and I would love for it to be here in America, but it takes money. It takes organization and money. Yeah, everyone's eyes is on Sugar, holding him liable for the hospital needs. Right, Suzanne. Especially in South Korea, especially considering his reputation. That's going to bring extra. If Sugar did this and he didn't have that fucking scooter incident, it wouldn't worry me as much. But with this scooter incident, I'm cautious. I'm very cautious. I think that with the scooter incident and with BTS coming out with a new album and a tour, and BTS getting more prestige and BTS bringing more clicks and views or whatever they do, I'm just going to say, how long before the media going to be like, we're going to start taking swipes at BTS. And I think that one of the swipes that they might go low is start looking into Min Yoongi's center and as to how is it doing? What are the parents' experience like? What are the kids' experience like? What are the doctors' experience like? And what about the money? The biggest thing, what about the money? I agree. Why? I don't know why. There's a pic on Big His page of Tay with the full beard. I'm picturing Tay with the full beard. I think that's kind of hot. Yeah, I wouldn't put it past them. So I tell y'all, I say, get ready. Because I wouldn't be surprised if they start just, again, like the media does in Korea. We're just asking questions. Because they try to put the shit like that. Well, we're just asking questions. We're just bringing things up. And we heard certain things. That's how the Korean media try to be slick. And they know when they start asking these questions, then the public is just going to find a way to drag you in. People are going to be like, see, I told you. See, I told you this is all for publicity. See, I told you he doesn't know what he's doing. How long before the public starts saying shit like that? He looks like Pedro. I don't have Instagram, so I wouldn't even be able to look it up. I'll try to ask somebody to go pull it up. I try to log into my Instagram account. I do have an Instagram account. I did log into it today. It's the first time I logged in months. I want to look. I want to see this picture. I want to see you. I like, hey, Kim Tae-yeon. I like Kim Tae-yeon with a little facial hair. I like it. It's cute. Even though I'm not into facial hair. Let me tell y'all, I'm not into facial hair. He does look Mexican. I'm telling you. Oh, definitely got to see this then. I'm like, ooh, Kim Tae. I got to log back into Instagram. But yeah, I'm just getting y'all armies. Y'all get ready for it. Because I don't put it past the media to try to drum up something negative about a BTS member, especially Yoongi. Like they still have not let this thing go, you know. But I'm gonna look it up. I'm gonna continue. So y'all get ready. So Jennifer said Mickey's telling me to log off and feed him. Mickey weigh about damn near 20 pounds. And I don't understand why he asking me to feed him. He had food in his bowl last time when I started this live stream. Jennifer, you come over here and feed your cat. They made fun of him, so he took the pictures down. Oh, yeah, I remember when he took the pictures down because they were making fun of him. And I thought he looked cute. I saw the picture. Jennifer, you get over here and feed your animal. He ain't meowing no more. Y'all hear Mickey over here getting mad. They still won't let the JK nose, they won't let go to JK nose surgery rumors. I've heard a lot of rumors about different BTS members having surgery. They talk about JK too. Sugar will be back soon. Oh, Susanna's going to manifest it. I'm going to manifest it too. I am manifesting that Sugar's going to return. Now, I don't know if it's going to happen, but let a sister dream. Let her dream the impossible dream. Y'all let me dream. Jennifer said, Jennifer, you ready to go see Twice? Me and Jennifer are going to go see Twice in January. We're going to see Twice. Our first girl group. First time I've ever seen a girl. A 20-pound cat. Look, listen. Marie Miller, stop fat shaming my cat. He doesn't appreciate it. No, my cat actually lost weight. He don't weigh 20 pounds. He actually weighs 16 pounds. And he's actually lost a little weight. So he's been on a diet. He weighs 16 pounds. Stop fat shaming him. Tay looked really good in LA. Tay looked really good at that Anna Wintour thing. He was dressed in an outfit I like, except for the hat. I'm not really into the hat. But I'm not really into facial hair either. And Magical's nose came back to original shape in the next live. Oh, God. Yeah, we're not fat shaming the cat. My kids do enough of that. They be like, Mickey, you're so fluffy and thick. Mickey! Look, Mickey, wow. And his little paw is underneath the door. So here's the door, and there's his paw. He sticks his paw in it, and he puts his nose down by the crack of the door, and he sticks his paw. You just see a paw going. And his paw is underneath the door. Like when my cat, he gets so bad that even when you go to the bathroom at my old house, he would come to the bathroom and stick his paw underneath the door when you're in the bathroom. And I remember, and it makes me laugh because I remember my kids used to do that. When my kids were little, I'd be in the bathroom and they'd be like, Mama. And then their hand would be underneath the door. I was like, kids, oh my God, can your mother use the bathroom? And they're like, no, Mama. So the cat is like, Mama. What? NewJeans? Ain't nobody rocking no. First of all, I don't even like girl groups. So ain't nobody rocking that. I'm not rocking no damn NewJeans. They are girl group. Girl groups do nothing for me at all. It ain't it at all. Like Blackpink is a little entertaining. Jennifer, don't start. Jennifer, like, no, they're not. Like Blackpink is a little slightly. They are XG. I like XG and I like Young Posse. They okay. That's something I would listen to. But NewJeans, oh no, just no. NewJeans sound like NewJeans and all the rest of them. All the rest of those what are those girl groups out there? Like Illit is okay. Not Blackpink. Come on now, y'all know. Y'all know I be trying not to drag Blackpink, but they such an easy target. Girl groups to me are easy target. Okay, y'all hear my girl group. And then all that music is like, yeah, come on, girls, let's get together. Bitch, if you don't get off my screen, go away. Girl, if you don't, I cannot stand none of them. Espa, the Seraphim got on my nerves. Now, the Seraphim, when they first came out, they was good, but I cannot do this. We're going to see Twice, but I don't know not one damn Twice song. But we're gonna go just to see what the girl groups is talking about. I do not do girl groups. This shit is boring. In mix, boring as fuck. I don't like the musical selection. I don't like the dancing. I don't like Red Velvets. I like Red Velvet. I've tried with girl groups, but I just sit here and be like this. Y'all are boring. The girl groups is boring. XG is good. Young Posse because they're more hip hop. XG is more like techno club. It's, woke up feeling like this. So please don't hear my shit. Woke up feeling like this. Doom, doom, doom. Now that's a song. Welcome to the puppet show. That's my song. That's my girl puppet show by XG. They remind me of BTS. Young Posse. I love Young Posse. But I don't like their recent song. But Baby Monster, girl. The only reason I like Blackpink because they was talking about like some hard hitting. Blackpink was like, Blackpink in your area. I was like, oh. I was like, that's the kind of girl. I am a 21 FX girl. I am not used to this. I do not like Girls' Generation. Girls' Generation, hell, sit down. No disrespect to Girls' Generation because they were the progenitors. But that type of music, I just be like, I just, like a psycho. No, ladies. No, we're good. That's gone. I can't do the I'm in love with a boy and he is not my boy. Girl, if you don't, I don't want to hear nothing about none of that. I want to hear in your fantasy. I know what you into. I know what you like. Baby girl got a type. Come take a seat in your fantasy. That's what I want to hear. I want to hear some ATs. I don't want to hear no group talking about and the dancing. Holy shit. If I got to deal with no disrespect to B High. That's my girl. That's Kai's sister. Bubble. No. NewJeans, the sweetest escape. Hell no. If I don't like TWS, I don't like Boy Next Door. I don't like these young groups singing this music that just makes me want to go to fucking sleep. Like I need something hard hitting. Oh no, Mickey, no! Child, Mickey done knocked over his food bowl. You hear that? Mickey said, "Bong." Mickey done knocked over his food bowl, y'all. It's a sad day of affair. But no, I don't do girl groups. It puts me to sleep. I don't like that mellow. I can't do it. I can't even do the mellow boy groups. Like, no disrespect to Boy Next Door and TWS, and no disrespect, but that music is not my kind of music in American music. I don't like Sabrina Carpenter. I don't like Billie Eilish. Showing the fuck don't like Taylor fucking Swift. Bam! Like I do not want to hear. I don't want to hear Sabrina Espresso. Even like me in an espresso. No, girl, espresso your ass out of here. Go on, girl. I can't. No. Espresso that way. Okay. I don't like that type of music. I'm not into that type of music. I like Le Seraphim when they would I told y'all Easy is one of my favorite K-pop songs of all time. Like it's on my top 20. But that was a hard-hitting song. But I can't. You like me, you're special. Oh my God. I'm like, if I'm at a cafe and I'm halfway drunk and I'm hungover, maybe that music would be good. Like if I'm going to sleep, I don't want to hear that. I want to hear some Stray Kids. Do, 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 do. That's what I want to hear. I want to hear some hard hitting. I do not want to hear like me, it's special. I like Tate McRae, and I do like her, but I don't like female artists. I don't want to hear like Beyonce Lemonade. That's as much as I get. All the other stuff Beyonce talking about, I'm just like, girl, I respect you, girl, but your music, it's just not my musical taste. I cannot stand NewJeans. It sounds like throwback music that I grew up listening to in the 90s. That old throwback music from the 90s that the girls were singing back. I'm a TLC fan. That's as much as it goes with the girl groups. I like Aaliyah. That's about it. I'm a Missy Elliott girl. I'm a Sierra girl. I'm just like, oh. Then they get on stage and perform live. Fuck no. Well, like, girl, if you don't get off the Swifties, they can come for me all day. The Swifties can come for me all day. I respect Taylor Swift. I love Taylor Swift as a businesswoman and as somebody who's been in this industry a long time. She's a great singer, songwriter, but her music is not mine. Billie Eilish, I like a few of her songs. She's a phenomenal singer, songwriter, industry plant, whatever. No. NewJeans, hell no. That's like music for like 15-year-olds. Like my daughter my daughter don't listen to that, but her friends would listen to like, like I said, Illit, and like, I respect Illit. You little monsters, I wanna know. That's like song a 12-year-old listens to. That's not like a song a grown person, like Billie Eilish when she was talking about you can see me in a crown. That's the song. That's the jam there. Girl, Blackpink. Girl, jump. 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 I'm like, I'm gonna jump off this bridge if y'all don't tear this shit off. Nobody dislikes girl groups probably more than me. Besides Jennifer. Jennifer don't really like them either. But like I said, we're going to see Twice. We'll experiment. we'll come back. I'll come back and report to y'all what's going on. But for me to sit and watch a girl group, baby, I said I'm going to need lots of liquor. But I heard Twice was good, and I have seen them on stage. So at least I got to have a good stage. I'm sorry. There's no one better on stage than Stray Kids, BTS, and ATEEZ. I want to see some dancing. I want to see some leg kicking. I better, when BTS do Idol, you can't stop me loving myself. Like, I want to see some shit. I want to hear, like that. I want to see some leg. I do not want to see this shit. I want to see, ooh, let's be pretty and cute. Like, okay, girl, just, all right. Yes, girl. I want to be like, I want to be up there dancing like, I want it, baby. When blood, sweat, tears hit, I'm like, when blood, sweat, tears hit me, it's a moment. I want to see some ticking. I want to see some dancing. I want to see Jimin do the Jimin neck. And I want to see some jumping. Damn it, I want to see some jumping. Like, I want to see J-Hope. Look, I better see some dancing. You better want it money. I want to see some crotch grabbing. I want to see some crotch grabbing up in this bitch. I do not want to see. No, I I want to, yeah, we gonna go all the way back. I want to see some dope. Y'all know how I get it. Get out. I want to see some dancing. That's my thing. Nothing was added to the cooler. This is my natural state of mind. I like music. I like to see good dancing. Like the stuff that they do now, even with this fifth generation. TXT was good though. Black. She said Black Swan is her jam. What she said? I do. I want to see some. Yeah. I was like, I need some thrusting, some dancing. And besides, with NewJeans ain't got no career no more. NewJeans is gone. Like NewJeans have left the building. Their career is gone. NewJeans ain't producing nothing. They sweetest escaped their asses up out the industry. Yeah, I want Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I want standing next to you. I want JK to. I want the bridge to hit. That's what I want to see. I'm like, oh, that's. I want to see the whole. Yes, the crotch grabbing. That has to be in every favorite BTS song. I'm like, I like that one. That's a good one. Perfected by the greatness known of Michael Jackson. Again, I grew up in the Michael Jackson era where people dance. Like Michael Jackson was dancing. Like he wasn't just standing up there singing, being cute. Like, oh, okay. I like dancing with my singing. I grew up in a time where Britney Spears was up there. And the chaos, I'm on the way. She wasn't up here doing this shit. You know, like some of the songs she was, Britney was up there dancing. Like, yes. Oh my God. Why y'all had to bring up Silver Spoon? I watch Silver Spoon every other day. I watch that video every other day. I'm like, just fast forward and slow down just for the Yoongi parts. I'm just like, well, this is, research purposes. But now I don't do girl groups. Like people be trying to, this girl group, I'm like, hey, all of them look alike to me. I'm like, okay, they look like they're wearing the same outfits and they singing the kind of same music and God. I'm like, I can't tell the difference between aespa, Nmix, Kiki's, the Kiras. Like none of them. They all look the same. Even though, like I said, NewJeans is not even in the equation because their group is dead. They might be NewJeans gonna be at the cafe talking about, would you like some cream with that latte or not? Oh my God, yeah. I'm a rap line girl. I'm a pure rap line girl. All of the BTS rap songs is at the height of my list. Sugar, D-Day 2, August D-Day 2 is my favorite of Sugar's album, D-Day 2, the second one. Silver Spoon song, oh my God. Girl, don't. Woo, we talking about making babies. Oh no, I definitely don't need that. I got two. I'm trying to get these two up out of here. I don't need no more to be up in her in this mix. But anyway, Mickey! Every time I get off this live stream, I'm like, let me go watch some BTS videos real quick. Cause y'all be up here, we be watching BTS videos all night. I'm gonna try to finish editing. But anyway, y'all, I've had a great time tonight. I'm going to try to finish editing. No, I'm not. I'm probably going to watch BTS videos, feed my cat, get me a shot of vodka, try to figure out what my kid, and I got to eat some food. Oh, don't tell Jennifer. I hope Jennifer's not here. Jennifer Jennifer, I have not eaten anything today. So I got some cauliflower and cheese. I'm going to eat cauliflower and cheese. So that's what I'm eating for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. But I did have those 10 Doritos and a cup of coffee, some iced coffee. So I'm on it. But I'm fixing to go get me something to eat before I pass out and die. But anyway, y'all, I will see y'all next Saturday. Y'all stay safe. And I'm finna go feed this cat. I got to feed him first, then feed myself. This is how it goes, the pecking order of things. Feed the cat, then feed me. Eat my cauliflower. I'm a cauliflower rice with cheese and broccoli. There you go, y'all. Thinking about hoping. And then I'm gonna sit back and watch my Yoongi videos and I'm gonna relax. But anyway, y'all have a good night. Bye.